They do.
Let's get started. This is it. Penultimate day in Go TAFE Goulburn Valley League football. Holland got it out of the ruck. Out of the middle now, Rokar, who's been playing really, really good football up until right now as he gave away a free kick, and Seymour are going to take on the back point of the square. Colbert back into the side, gives the handball to Wheeler, up to half forward, looking for big boy Robinson, takes it on the bounce, spins around. Handball was neat to Hockley. Hockley, long ball. Who does he look for? Jake Anderson will fly. Out the back, he's got it now. Oh, he got one high.
It's high.
And 45 out from goal. Anderson will get the first crack at it for the Lions. Kicking to the Skene Street end, Kyle Power.
We've seen Brent Colbert, Sharpie, come off the half-back line. We'll see that a number of times. Loves setting the play up there, and he's started the game very well. Nothing wrong with that hamstring. Love the contest from Robinson as well.
He can be lethal inside and forward 50. Yep. Jake Anderson, kicked 5 only a couple of weeks ago. Will line it up. 48 from goal when he does make purchase. He jogs in. Drop punt on its way. Looks okay off the boot. Then it just starts to veer right through for the first minor of the afternoon to Jake Anderson, and Seymour move to 1 behind. Shepparton yet to score with Mitchy Brett. Ball in hand, defensive goal square, and welcome aboard Greg Sharp for 1FM.
Thank you, Digger. And for 103.9 Seymour FM, 1.5 minutes gone, first term. Long ball from Mitchy Brett. Goes out. Anderson got a fist to it, but it come off the pack. Now it's a chance for the Bears to go forward from centre wing, go down looking for Bradrick. But the kick was had a bit too much weight on it, went over his head and went over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. 55 around from the Bears' goal.
Hammer mentioned not a huge amount of breeze out there, but I must say over in that forward pocket via the scoreboard that those trees are moving around a little bit as the boundary umpire throws it in right in front of the scoreboard. All ruckman, every player missed it. Meredith on the way through tried to get it going. Cole was able to get a good kick forward, good bit of distance, and that man that JW talked about in the pre-game backing back Kyle Power was Sammy Dunstan, who goes down the wing looking for a teammate. And now really close, Hiscock there, close to the boundary. Looks like it was all a kick off the ground up to half forward. Bending over, trying to pick it up was Matty Brett. Scooped it on. The veteran in Nick Allen has it. Handball over the top. He looped it over to Rokar. Was able to take on the tackler. 40 out from goal. The long one to the goal square. Bradrick! No, through for a minor. Jeez, he took 2 or 3 bites of the cherry, but no good in the end. 1 point apiece, early stages, first quarter, preliminary final day.
Geez, Rokar did well to get rid of that.
He did.
Geez, actually the tackling was poor, really. There was 3 of them there that all should have nailed him one after the other, and they missed the opportunity to lay on a really good tackle. Scopel, last line of defence, and Drago goes down the line. Actually, Scopel looking for Wheeler. Spilt what he should have taken. Allen, hand pass inside. Now they can work it. They do through Brett. Brett shot towards goal. It's going to be the first major. It's going to go the way of Matt Brett for the Bears. He gets it at the 3-minute mark. They're 1-1-7. And Seymour 1 behind 1 point. Kyle Power.
Yeah, what an important player he's become, Matty Brett, into this Shep Footy Club side. He gets them off to the perfect start. They look damaging, Digger, when they're on the burst. We've noticed that that's their game style, the counter-attack. Seymour need to be wary of that because once that ball slingshots, they're hard to catch. But love the season or the last few month and a half of Matty Brett.
It's a luxury to just get him back into the side come final, same as Harry Boyd. If they lock the ball inside 50, they're going to put the Seymour defenders under the pump. Grenfell and Holland went at it, both of them, and both got a little bit on it. But that man Cole again, big centre clearance his way up to the 100-gamer in Scopel. Could have got one high, and he did in the end. So Rory Scopel was in front of Jonty Wardle, took the free kick. He's about 65 from goal. He decides to just pump it forward, looking for Benny Clifton hotspot. They all missed it. Out the back, Dunstan was there. Here's a chance for the Lions. Hockley took on the tackle. Should be holding the ball, and is every day of the week. You've got to dispose of it immediately. If you get pinged, you're gone. And Harry Boyd, big tackle for the Bears. Right deep in their own defence, finds Liam Dogood. He'll deliver off half-back.
He will. He'll go straight down the line. Actually, in the way there was Brent Ryan, but he couldn't take the mark. Geez, I tell you what, there's some great tackling going on. Nick Allen just laid a good one on Cole, picked it up, turned it over. It went the way of James Wong, but he's at left half-back. Now he'll go down the line to centre wing towards Bradrick, and he'll mark centre wing tucked up against the boundary line. Outer side of Deakin Reserve. 1-1-7 Shepparton. They lead Seymour 1 behind 1 point.
He's got 4 and 3/4 minutes hands.
gone.
Looks on strong hands, Johnny Bradrick. His disposal can sometimes he lets himself down a little bit at times, but can't doubt his marking ability. He has it now and he delivers it to Hiscock, who drives the ball inside forward 50. Andronako in the right spot at the right time, takes a mark. 50 out, decides to play on. Long ball to the goal square. Don't think it'll make it. Holland's there out the back too. Also Matty Brett really close to the goal line. Thought it was through for a point, but it wasn't. Defenders for Seymour under the absolute pump. There's no doubt about it. There's 3 or 4 around the ball, looking for a holding the ball. Umpire folds it, crosses his arms and says, he doesn't fold them, he crossed them, and he will toss it up deep in the teeth of goals here for the Shepparton Bears.
Umpire puts it up, goes up Grenfell and Holland. Probably Grenfell with the best of it. AJ McCarthy took it, got dispossessed of the football. Billy Cox, hand pass, hit the deck. Stratton picks it up and misses what he should have really nailed, Kyle Powell, from 10 metres out. 45 degree
time
angle.
than what he thought, I reckon, Sharpie.
He did. Probably no talk there, so Seymour still 1 point. The Bears 1-2-8, and we played 5 3/4 minutes first term.
Sturgis kicks it to himself and goes to the outer side with a handball inboard now to Billy Cox. That kick was really, really poor. Put his teammate under the pump. He went back up to butter up again his own poor kick, but it didn't really work out. Well, it does now, though, for Seymour. Lucks a fortune to Cole. Already 3 kicks early in the first quarter. Chips the ball up to the wing, but plenty of numbers in favour of the Shepparton Bears. Wardle was there, as to Mitch Brett. But Seymour were able to get it through Sturgis, who followed the play all the way down. Cole again having some really important touches. Beautiful kick to Anderson. That's his second mark. Sorry, his first mark inside 50. The first was a free kick, and he will line it up dead set, directly in front, but at least 50 metres out from goal. I don't think the distance will be a problem. He's got a big leg, Hollywood.
MVD will be on Jason Cole. Watch as he comes off for the much needed break. He's been outstanding.
Anderson, long drop punt on its way. Just fades to the left-hand side. You've got to make the most of your opportunities, Mr. Sharp. 2 points, Seymour. Shepparton 1-2-8.
Jordan Butts will mark in the back pocket. He's in the back pocket, all right, in front of the Shep United Footy Netball Club. Up against the boundary line, so he's inside defensive 50. Comes out wide, it's got to hang just in. Meredith there, couldn't mark it for Seymour. Ball hit the ground. There's a chance there for Harry Boyd. He took possession of it, but was forced over the boundary line. And the boundary umpire said, we will have a boundary throw in about 70 metres around from the Seymour goal. So it's at left half forward as we go 7.5 minutes first term. 8 plays 2, 6-point margin in favour of the Bears.
With thanks to AJ's boys, Jason Cole up to 5 touches for the start of this game.
Blood rule. Might be Meredith, I think. He's got just a little nick on his chin or on his cheek. Looks like his cheek, but Hammer will be all over it. There's no doubt about that.
The claret.
1FM, a little bit of claret pouring out of the cheek. Now the boundary umpire tosses it back in. Good work by Ash Holland, but it went straight to Mitch Waite to Clifton. Long ball to the goal square by Clifton, looking for Grenfell. Really close to the goal line, was able to tap it back, but it didn't work in the end. It ricocheted off about 2 or 3 players through for another minor. 3 behind Seymour. Just some early inside 50s from you, Michael.
3-2 Seymour's way.
Teddy Linden goes out wide, defensive 50, finds Joel Brett. He'll go to Butts, who's just outside defensive 50 for the Bears. Outer side of Deacon Reserve. He can steady it and go short again. Now they'll come across, switches on, to Brett this time. Mitch Brett, he can tap it in front. Now he can have his first bounce. He runs to the attacking side of centre, puts it over the top. He'll find Luke Smith. He'll run inside 50 and shoot towards goal, and he has nailed it. That's good. Albeit just in the final end, but it's a goal, and they get their second goal. They go to 2-2-14. And Seymour 3 behind 3 points. 8 3/4 minutes gone. Kyle Powell, first term.
Best bit of play we've seen all day, Digger.
How good was the kick? That set it up by Joel Brett to Mitchie Brett.
Another blood rule.
Another blood rule. Good game, good running on. The kick was outstanding, but the hands over from Mitchie Brett to Lukey Smith, who Brett could have kicked it deep into the pocket with targets there, but he was a smart enough player to handball it to Smith, who ran in basically to an open goal.
Unattended. Some real worries there for Seymour in terms of the manning up, letting Mitch Brett off the leash, and then Luke Smith with no one on him. If you're going to let Shepparton do that, this is going to be a pretty big scoreline. They're going to cut you to pieces. Ball back in the middle. Some worrying signs for the Lions early stages. McMahon now thrown in the ruck. They're getting the clearances, Seymour. Hockley was able to get it. Now here's an opportunity for O'Brien for Seymour. The kick was poor, straight down the throat of Teddy Linden. Greg Sharp absolutely disgusted with that kick, shakes his head.
That was terrible.
And says, what is going on? Stretton has it now. Chip over the top, he finds Dunstan.
Dunstan, I tell you what, Diggy, you can't afford to miss opportunities.
With a poor kick coming in.
Yeah, opportunities there. As was it Jake Anderson had 15 metres on his man. Down the line they come towards Holland. It was partly smothered the ball. The free kick is going to go the way of Holland.
With thanks to William Adams, down to you, Hammer, quickly.
Meredith from Seymour had a stud cut to the cheek. Jonty Wardle had the same thing, so both will be receiving treatment and both will be back on in no time.
Beautiful work, Hammer. Sharpie.
Yep, down the line comes Holland. Brent Ryan is playing on James Wong. The important mark he took. He squares the ball up to Sturgis. Sturgis works his couple of opponents inside out. Now he can straighten up and go down the line to Matt O'Keefe. He marks attacking side of centre. They're going to the Skeet Street end of the ground. The Seymour lines. Kick's partly smothered. Too slow, all right, but it fell for Sturgis. Sturgis got a kick away looking for Hugh Robinson. Robinson will be first to the ball, but he can't take control of it, and he puts it over the boundary line. Harry Boyd was in pursuit. We'll have a boundary throw in about 35 metres around from the Seymour goal. Right half forward. 14 plays 3 in favour of the Bears. 10 and 3/4 minutes gone first.
There has to be instruction to move the ball a hell of a lot quicker from the coach, because Matt O'Keefe was far too slow and let many players flood back in, and then his own kick was smothered. Wheeler now tucked up against the boundary line. Long ball's going to be out on the full, I think. Very, very deep.
Free kick anyway.
Yeah. Push over the boundary. Dangerous.
It'll be Teddy Linden who takes the resultant free kick. Back pocket for the Bears. Nice little handball to Stretton. He's a real runner, Dave Stretton. The kick, looking for and trying to find his teammate, wasn't going to work. It went over Holland's head and went out on the full in what we call, Kyle, the vortex from a few years ago. Sort of just vacuums out there, Michael.
With thanks to AJ's after 17 possessions in the first quarter last week. Ben Davies hasn't touched the ball yet. His opponent, Jordan Hockley, is on 3.
Sturgis now with the ball inside 50 looking for O'Brien. Shep have the numbers though. Couple of 1-2s there. Rokar, handball over the top. Looks for Stratton. Another one over the top for Allen. The kick along the boundary line, but I think it went over the line first. It did. Out of bounds, and it will be a boundary throw in right where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary line. Half forward flank for the Lions at the Skeen Street end of Deakin Reserve. What a picturesque day. Beautiful crowd in. Looking forward to a real humdinger here, Kyle.
Yes.
Boundary umpire to throw it in. Actually, Hockley and Davies has got to be a good contest, but in the ruckets, Holland, geez, Matt O'Keefe went over the top, nearly took his own man out in Hockley. He did, actually. Ball comes out for the Bears. Go back towards the centre of the ground. It bounces. Xavier McMahon picked it up, but he was dispossessed. He got it back eventually over to Allen, to Rokar. Actually, he's got the footy now. Left half back, he'll square it to centre half back. He'll find Mitch Brett. Now they're on. Mitch Brett can go, and he does. Puts it out in front of Luke Smith. It's going to be a free kick, actually. It was probably a good professional free kick, really, if you want to know, because I think Smith was away and gone.
Now Lukey Smith kicked the last goal for Shep. Now look at Mitch Brett's work. He just runs down the ground from 50, bombs it to the goal square. Bradrick!
Because that's too easy, Sharpie.
That is far too easy. The free kick. Mitch Brett is just doing it on the bit. Whoever's playing on him is not following him down, not manning him up.
I'm not sure what...
And he's slaughtering them at the moment, running off half-back.
What was Scopel doing? He was definitely in front there, Shep. Didn't even make a contest and let Bradrick go over the top for the easy mark and certain goal, you would think, Digger.
Yeah, you like to take front spot, but in that position, it didn't really work for him. Bradrick now, 20 out from goal. No problem whatsoever. And the Bears are just marching along beautifully here. 3-2-20. Bradrick gets his first after 5 last week. We'll get some total goals for his season so far in a moment from you, Michael Van Dorsen. Seymour, 20 for the year.
23 for the year.
23 for the year, thank you.
Jeez,
Seymour 3 behinds. Some real worries there for the Lions.
You've got to go back there where Dylan Scopel was. You've got to go back and get body contact on your opponent. Geez, don't just let him climb over the back of you. Make him earn the kick and get back in his face.
They look slow at the moment.
Put a bit of doubt.
They look slow from the rebound that Mitchy Brett, you can't... That's twice now they've let him go.
Mitch Brett is on Matt O'Keefe there.
He's carving.
Yep.
That's where the run's coming from.
And that's
what we said at the start.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. The run, I thought, was going to trouble Matty O'Keefe regardless of where he's playing, but it certainly is a factor now.
Score involvements for Mitch Brett's pretty much been all 3. Ball in the middle. Lloyd up against Grenfell. Did it all himself. The centre clearance as well, but I think going okay for Seymour.
Correct.
Dunstan now the handball across, looking for Lloyd as the bend down, pick it up. Met by Harrison Wheeler. The handball out the back was good to Falcone. Really close to the boundary line. Ball ricochets off Lloyd's knee. for a boundary throw in 60 around from Seymour's goal. Just centre clearances, Mick.
3-1 Seymour's way. Full time at the B grade netball as well. Chuka 42-35 winners to play Benalla next week.
Boundary umpire to throw it back in. I'll tell you what, Seymour are looking for the free kicks instead of going earning them. Cole got it off Grenfell out of the ruck, goes in. Robinson was hanging on. Umpire spotted it too, and he's going to pay the free kick. Go the way of Harry Boyd. Geez, I tell you what, they're doing all the things wrong, Seymour, at the moment, and that's because the Bears have got good pressure. Boyd will go out to Allen. I think probably the way the Bears are going too is probably not so much a scoring end. Talk about Davies, he's got it now. Centre wing out of side of Deacon Reserve, down the line to Bradrick, over the top. Goes, ball bounces. Now a chance for James Wong to run onto it, and he does. Squares it up the centre. Corridor's wide open.
Jeez.
He's got to mark it and play on.
Missed it.
And miss.
Brett.
No, goal.
Goal.
Jeez.
There's sort of no reaction there from the crowd or anyone, and it was Matty Brett.
Is he wearing a different jumper too?
He is too, wearing
25.
25.
Okay, so
that's what got me at the minute. I thought I couldn't remember a 25 being on their team sheet, and I had to have a second look.
Well, it's certainly... Geez, danger signs early already. We haven't gone long in this first quarter. We've gone 16 minutes first term. They're 23 down the lines, haven't scored a goal, 4-2 at the moment. The Bears, they are dominating. They've just got to be able to work it out from the centre clearances. They go forward now. Digger.
Cole delivers the ball into forward 50. Linden missed it on the way back. Anderson really needs to kick this goal. He dribbles it poorly through for a minor only. Needs to be a little bit more desperation about your game, Jake Anderson. He just sort of slapped it on the boot.
3 behind for Jake.
Yeah, I don't know if Rory Scope was calling to him. Then he was 15 metres out the centre corridor. One thing the Bears are doing well, I tell you what, they find their targets in that centre corridor.
Yep.
I tell you what, they're exploiting Seymour there. McMahon's got it. Hand pass inside you, Robinson. Actually, the boundary umpire said.
It's on off the ground here. McMahon and Dunstan into it.
What was the? It's a boundary throw-in back up here.
There's a little bit of argy-bargy over the boundary line. Umpire now will toss it back in. 75 around from the Lions goal. Grenfell grabbed it out of the ruck. Smashes it inside 50. Can the Lions get a mark? It pitches in between 5 players. That's a bit of a shove there by Linden on Anderson. And the umpire was all over it. Advantage paid. And goal to Jake O'Brien. So the Lions get what they wanted. It took them a while, but they've responded. 4-2-26.
Going on here.
Yeah, 1-4-10.
He's not happy at all.
I just find the crowd is in a bit of a lull at the moment, Kyle. There needs to be a bit of a lift.
I'll tell you what, James Wong is very, very upset. Now, the jumper punch style downtown, Digger, that was nearly full-blown Alistair Lynch sort of stuff there. So we'll keep an eye on Jamie Wong. Not too sure if there's anything in it, but geez, he wanted to get into it. But nice goal there from Jakey O'Brien. A little bit of a Stedler sharpie.
Interesting here, Jordan Butts has got to go into the ruck. Jordan Butts in the ruck against Grenfell here, boys.
It is. Now Butts has to do it himself. Cole again looking for a centre clearance. He's got time to go back and get it. He almost got pinged for holding the ball. Clifton puts some good body work on. Chance for Hay for the Lions. Big tackle on him. They're up for it though. Sturgis with the handball. Fed it to Falcone. The chip kick almost hit Cole in the head on the way through. And now the Bears, they look to reply out of defence, but it's not going to happen through Andronako. They're going to get it through Stratton. Now they're almost out. This is a good kick coming up. They've got plenty of room. Hiscock. He can take a bounce. He has time for it to just fumble it a little bit now. Deliver a long ball inside 50. Bradrick. Oh, that is superb. Jukes out in front. You said he was up for a big one, Kyle. He certainly is.
It certainly was.
Is Wong playing half forward?
I'll tell you what, James Wong, he's not happy at it. He threw everything into that contest.
Now Bradrick squares it up.
Don't know why he'd do that, Dig. I'd have a shot if I was Bradrick.
Just trying to detect who that player it is.
Hiscock.
Number
Fair
11
distance.
on his back.
He's got the legs though.
Yeah, he's got the boot to get the distance. There's no doubt about it, has Rowan Hiscock. As he has played 159 games for this footy club.
Since 2009.
Yeah, since 2009. It's as far back as our stat sheet goes. Really got close to the man on the mark to try and get that extra bit of distance. And he's just been able to scrape it in for a minor. 4-3-27 Shepparton to Seymour 1-4-10. 17-point margin with thanks to Hotondo Homes. Magnificent sponsors of 1FM. Sturgis with the kicking in. Judy's almost mucked it up. I'll tell you what, he kicks it to Colbert, who hasn't had a lot of it at this stage. Cox now out of defence for Seymour. Boyd will climb high and take a beautiful mark for the Bears.
Boyd,
good mark.
Right half forward, boundary line side. In front of the, he took it in front of the faithful too.
Jeez, he's
hold
got
on,
some size
another
on
one
him.
here with blood.
Harry Boyd, Digger.
Yeah, he's a big lad, and you know what I like? He's got his eyes on the footy pretty much all the time.
So McCarthy back on, Dylan Scopel off.
Yeah, he's got some claret coming out of the snoz.
Yeah, he got cleaned up in that contest before.
So Boyd to put the Bears back inside, attacking 50 with a nice right foot drop punt. He does, goes to true centre half forward. The pack flies. Holland was there, got it when it hit the ground. Now's a chance there for Dunstan to kick it, and he does. He puts it through. They get their 5th goal. They're 5-3-33. The Shep Bears, they lead Seymour by 23 points, 1-4-10. We played 20 minutes first term.
How does a big bloke like that just have enough time to put it on the boot?
As we look at him go back to the back line, Sharpie, that's a defender's goal, and you don't like to see that. Brent Colbert certainly wouldn't be happy, but Dunstan, he's had a good final series, and just a clever goal. Knew where they were, so I reckon if they get a bit short up forward, they maybe can throw him. He's a damaging player as well, knows where they are.
Brent Campbell will be absolutely thrilled with the start. The Bears are right on top, 5-3 to Seymour's 1-4. What have Seymour got in them? Let's see what happens. Hockley out of the middle. The momentum going all the way to the Harold Street end.
Good hand.
But now McMahon was able to free Falcone. Didn't really bounce for him. It didn't work. But Seymour still have it at half forward. Ball sort of going everywhere, but where the Lions want it. Meredith there also was able to get a handball, and now tackled just on the attacking side of the half forward line for the Seymour Lions. 55 from their goal. They trail by 23. Siren imminent.
How long's Jason Cole been off the ground for?
He's back on.
He's back.
Nick
No,
Martin
he's on.
got the tap on. Look at Benny Clifton go. 40 out from goal. Has kicked a ripper. Beautiful finish from Benjamin Clifton. And look at him just trot back to the middle. High fives all round. Seymour get a big goal late in the first quarter. Much needed, I must say. 2-4-16. Clifton gets it. O'Brien's kicked the other for the Lions. For the Bears, who are 5-3, Dunstan, Matty Brett has 2, Bradrick and Smith, Kyle Power.
Just before you go, Kyle, when they went forward, not that time, the time before Seymour, 4 of their forwards stood back and watched the ball bounce.
Correct. Yeah, they did.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're not attacking the football. Doesn't matter where there's Falcone out then, never attacked the ball, waited for it to bounce. Roker out of the middle, gets tackled. Umpire said play on. He made a good enough effort by my standards. Over the top comes Holland. He gets tackled though once he won the footy.
He rock hard in the background.
Oh
Sharp.
yeah, she'd be rock hard. Right on the cricket pitch as he went down. Umpire to put it back up again. 33 plays 16, 22 minutes gone. Holland got into the back of McMahon, but he was able to get it over the top. Andronako, his hand pass back inside towards centre forward. Got to win a free kick there, and it's got to go the way of Nick Allen for in the back.
Right at true centre half forward. Little handball to Rokar, who'll drive a long ball to the goal square. Through! Oh, geez, I tell you what, they make them pay every single time, the Bears. They are on absolute fire at the minute.
Yep.
Big crowd in. The supporter base here at Shepparton hasn't seen the Bears get this close for a very long time, Kyle, and they're out in their numbers today. 6-3, 39, Shepparton leading Seymour 2-4-16, out to 23 points again.
And the query I had on them at the start of the game was how were they mentally prepared for this? Well, let's put it to bed. Sharpie, I reckon they're up and about. They just look real damaging going forward in their midfield, dominating at the moment.
They are at the moment. McMahon against Holland. No one successful in the air, but it was Holland at ground level to Allen. Allen's right foot kick going forward towards Joel. Brett can't make it. Andronako can run onto it, but doesn't miss. He missed it. Brett got it back. Geez, now there's some pressure. Smith over the hand, got the hand pass away in the nick of time. Joel Brett's kick is knocked down at attacking 50. For the Bears out of side. Now they've got it through Nick Allen. He goes back into the corridor.
Look at this.
Oh, no, Meredith is going to
done.
save the day like a superhero. He got there in the nick of time. The hand pass went to Clifton at centre half back. He has a bounce. He has his second bounce. He's tried to do too much. He got caught. Umpire, it should have been a free kick straight away. Falcone got it. He went to Rory Scopel and he marked just on attacking side of centre. Should have been a free kick.
Just had enough on him. Sturgis now will drive the ball from 50. Chip kick, beautiful to Robinson. 20 out from goal. Every time the Bears head out to 26 points, it's Seymour who respond. They get an opportunity with a shot on goal here, close to siren time in the first quarter.
Clifton, he was
Good on him. He backed himself in. He almost mucked it
I
up.
thought if you bounce the ball and you get tackled, that's holding the ball.
It's automatic.
I think he had control of it, but you're right, Kyle, I must admit. Hugh Robinson now must kick it.
Missed it.
And misses it to the right. if the Bears are going to go down there and just slot them from everywhere, you almost have to kick it down the other end.
Seems to be easier, and it may be the way the Bears are playing, kicking down to the Harold Street end at the moment. It'll be interesting to see the second
by
quarter.
half time, absolutely.
Yeah, by half time there'll be no excuses then, because they just seem to be finding more distance and being able to control the ball. Although the wind doesn't appear to be that strong as Mitch Brett. This is a horrible kick. Here's a chance. But it bounced. Holland did well. Davies, can he get it? He can now. He got it from the tap on by Dogood. His hurried right foot kick goes down the boundary line. Trapped by Meredith. He's got time to work it. He does to Sturgis. He goes inside. Now he's got runners. Who's got a lead? Nobody's leading, actually. They're all just standing there. Look at Clifton. Clifton is there at centre half forward. Just found space. Marked it and played on. Hand pass inside. Cole inside 50. Hurried right foot kick top end of the square. Well done for the Bears. Dunson got a fist to it. Oh, he's gone high.
Good decision.
Well done, Grenfell. He dropped his knees at the point of contact and took the high tackle, which was no malice in it. He's got a free kick, left forward pocket, tucked up against the boundary line.
Yeah,
That's actually
right
really good defending.
Yeah, it was. I thought Cole, they almost mucked it up, but they get a free kick now. Forward pocket, Grenfell just has to kick it.
Missed it.
And he doesn't.
Everything.
In fact, he misses it right across the face, through for nothing. 6-3-39 the Bears. Seymour 2-5-17. Hatondo Holmes first quarter. Almost siren time here, Greg Sharp.
They've gone back into that habit, Seymour, of that hand pass inside 50. Have a look at the Bears going forward. They're shooting for goal and going long and accurate with a bit of confidence. Off the pack, chance for Hockley along the boundary line. Taps it to the advantage of Cole. He's going to go with an inside out right foot kick.
The old check side.
Check side, and it's going to go in for just a minor score. They go to 2-6-18, plays 3-6.
No, 6-3.
6-3, sorry. I was just about to say that both had, 8 shots and 9 shots, and we've got a differential of, 21, 21 points.
Jason Cole up to 10 touches with thanks to AJ's. And Sturgis 8 for Seymour.
Getting leather poisoning. Linden deep in defence now. Hammers it outside 50, out of 50. McMahon put his dukes up close to the boundary, spoiled by Big Ash Holland. It'll go over for a boundary throw-in. So that score check again, the Bears 6-3-39. Leading Seymour 2-6-18. The Lions have had a few opportunities to kick goals, and they haven't. Does that come back to haunt them? Potentially. The boundary umpire tosses it back in. McMahon front position, tap over the back. Here's an opportunity for Davies. Another possession for him coming out of defence. Wong's there looking to rove it. 2 Seymour players went at it, and in the end, Bradrick got it. Was able to hammer it forward. That one's a good... Well, it was lucky in the end. Matty Brett will deliver a really long ball to absolutely no one. Plenty of Lions players back. Meredith, one of them. He takes the raffle, and he takes the easiest of chest marks.
He does. Goes to Dylan Scopel at centre. Well, not quite. Oh, hold on.
50 metres.
50 metres.
Against Wong, I think. Overstepping the mark. So
it's about all you could think it would be, because they're the only two within 20 metres of where the umpire is. So he's taken him back to the centre. Well, just on defensive side of centre. So Dylan Scopel, what can he do? Chips it to his brother Rory. Nick Allen gets out. Look at the numbers. Geez, I'll tell you what, that option was terrible. It's got to work out though. McMahon's got it. He can go to centre half forward and find Cole. Falcone's out at half forward. He's found him, and the bounce is kind too. He's inside 50. His shot for goal is not as good as it could have been. It's off for another minor score. So Seymour go to 2-7-19. They trail by 20 points to Shepparton Bears. A 6-3-39. 28 minutes about to tick over first term.
They've got loose players inside forward 50, Seymour, but they're rushing the kick. Cole's kick, it made Falcone have to wait for the bounce and then put him under the pump. If that kick hits him on the chest, he's gone. He's got an extra 2 metres, and that's all he needs to steady. So they're just making those players feel a little bit of perceived heat. Out of the back line, McCarthy flies high in his 100th game for Seymour, but it's over the back. They are out. Lukey Smith puts it under the armpit and takes it down to Wong on a lead. Takes it on the chest, didn't really need to hurt the wrist there. Now looking for big boy Bradrick. Look at this in transition. 3 kicks and they've got it to attacking 50. Mitchie Brett just got absolutely no one on him. As you can see, well, I'm not sure if Matty O'Keefe's on the ground at the minute, but whoever he was playing on was carving him up.
Clifton is on his own in the middle of the ground. I'm pretty sure that might be his man.
Brett's run has just been prepared to go and go and go.
Inside 50s 11-10 with thanks to AJ's. Marks inside 57-1 Shepparton.
Yeah, that's a massive statistic there, Michael. Mitch Brett now crosses the 50. Kick won't be a goal. He starts it out left, forward pocket, and in the end it finishes out of bounds on the full. But his game, Mitch Brett, so far is really breaking Seymour's defence apart.
They're torching them from half-back, Dick.
They certainly are. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. First quarter in the preliminary final in the GoTAFE Golden Valley Football League here. You are listening to 1FM. The scores are Shepparton 6-3-39, leading Seymour. Well, not a great scoreline for any Seymour supporters out there, but 2-7-19. It is quarter time. You're listening to the home of country football and also on Seymour FM 103.9.
Well, Hockley's got a big job all day on Benny Davies by the look of it.
Yeah, he does. Huge. And he was quiet, wasn't he? Thanks to AJ's. How many?
Yeah, Benny Davies only the 3 touches. Hockley also had 3 touches.
How many did Stratton have?
Stratton had 5.
Geez, I didn't think he had that many.
Early.
I mean, all I'm looking at is from last week. Same time last week.
Same time last week.
30-something
Both of them had about 30
I did
possessions.
say that Seymour, I mean, they're nearly week in, week out, start slowly, so they'll work themselves into it. Grenfell up in the ruck against Holland. Was able to just do it all himself. Brandon Grenfell, look for Robinson. Boyd over him. They both missed it. Out the back, here's an opportunity for Anderson if he can just scoop it up. Handball over the top. Instant goal for the Lions. Absolutely no doubt. It's that man again, Benny Clifton, who finishes it off inside 17 seconds. Seymour get the perfect start. 3-7-25. So good centre clearance work. He did it all himself then, Grenfell.
Yep.
Throw him in the ruck. It's what needs to happen, Kyle.
Yeah, certainly does. As we look for another pill, that went into the heart of Shepparton. There's Sharpies. Clifton just went bang. That net that they've got, non-existent.
How many people in the house? How many footballs you reckon they own?
Geez, it'll be enough.
When footy season comes around, they just
the
whack
old
on
Harold, the old Harold Street end. Cops it, but anyway, we've got it back, so that's good to see. But they're nice play, dig that.
14 points now, Sharpie, as we wait for the Sharon to return back to the middle, but good finish by Clifton. But the work from Grenfell out of the middle, really important. 3-7. We said that the Lions are always, well, they've shown this year they've been slow starters.
I think they've set up better. They've set up better this quarter because they've got O'Keefe in the back line. I think that's where he has to be, and they've got Clifton at half forward.
Let's get into it.
Ball back in the middle. O'Keefe's got a big job there on Matt Brett, though, wearing the number 25 today. For anyone listening that might be here wondering why, this time ball comes out of the middle. It's going to be a free kick
to Hockley.
Go to Hockley. So he's doing his job at the moment. He sits the ball up high. Clifton's going to attack it. So does Teddy Linden. They both collide in midair. Ball comes down. Grenfell picks it up, puts it towards full forward. Anderson's there, goes over the top of the pack. Dunstan gave it a helping hand.
Geez, you love
and it
to
hit
see.
the right behind post, and we'll have a boundary throw in right forward pocket for the Lions.
I fell for Teddy Linden then because Clifton knows no other way than to go full ball.
That was a corky waiting to happen, that one.
Wasn't it? It was a boundary throw.
Yep, he throws it back in. Holland gets it down. Chance for Wardle. He's back on the ground. Nicky Allen picks it up at ground level, gets him out. He just hacks it out. Meredith, geez, I tell you what, he wouldn't normally drop one of them. He's still a bit rusty. Second game back after 11 weeks off. He wins it at ground level to Cole. By hand, Cole under pressure as well. Hiscock got his hand in there and pushed it forward for the Bears. On the wing, got tackled. Umpire's going to pay tackle without the football against Matt O'Keefe. And the free kick will go to Mr. Hiscock just on defensive side of centre.
So Rowan Hiscock now, the defensive side of the wing, right in front of the grandstand here at Deakin Reserve, bathed in sunshine. The kick, you're normally very neat, finds Jordan Butts. He just got ahead of Brent Colbert and was able to take it on the chest. So a good 80 metres from goal. He drives it to the hot spot out the back. Almost Wong. I think he's plucked it. Yeah, he has. James Wong. I thought the Seymour defender that came across O'Keefe might have got a little bit of a hand on it, but he's been paid the mark and he will line it up 30 metres out from goal, almost directly in front.
Another mark inside 52, boys.
If you're in a defensive, the ball's on your inside, Kyle Power.
Yep.
Brent Ryan, why do you try and mark it? Eh?
Yeah, not sure.
You get a fist to those ones. And
Wong, 30 out, drop punt on its way. I reckon he's just hit the post. He has. He's got really under that kick, Kyle, went really high. So through for a minor.
Tends to do that.
Yeah, 6-4-40. The Bears, Seymour 3-7-25, with thanks to Shepparton Optical Services, our wonderful second quarter sponsors.
Sturgis with the ball. The last line of defence came out to McCarthy, but he put it back to Sturgis, so he's right up in the back pocket against the boundary line. He'll go down the line, and you'll find Dylan Scope.
No movement,
front of the Shep United. No movement, like statues. Absolutely like statues. Jordan Ockley's probably about the only one that's sort of jogged at the moment. He's got to put a high ball towards Grenfell. Boyd's there as well. Grenfell got him out of the way and spilt the ball. Colbert off the ground, went to you, Robinson. Actually, no, they're not, because Jordan Butts comes through and intercepts it. Cole picks it up, gets wrapped up in a tackle by Liam Dogood, and the umpire says we'll ball it up just on attacking. It's a centre wing just on attacking side of centre wing in favour of Seymour. 25 plays 40 in favour of the Bears. We played 4 1/4 minutes second term.
The Rucks will go at it. now. Holland gets the tap down. Harrison Wheeler's there to try and shark it under pressure from Davies. He was able to gather it. Handball inboard right in front of the grandstand. Cole, another kick to Jason Cole up to half forward. Well done, Harry Boyd. Boyd did some really good defensive work there and just fisted over the line. I think that's what Greg Sharp's talking about. When you're in a one-on-one, unless it's a clear-cut opportunity to mark the ball, you just get it over the line or you just fist it away from your opponent. Boundary umpire tosses it back in. Half forward here for the Bears. For the Lions. Wheeler was able to get it to Brent Ryan. The kick looking for big boy Robinson. Good mark out in front. It's going to be a hefty kick. He'll be 50 out when he, at least 50 metres out when he lines it up for goal. And he decides to play on. Passes the chalk now. Long ball. Won't be a goal. Won't be a point. It'll be out of bounds on the full. What a disappointing result for such a good mark by Huey Robinson. 15 points the difference. They would have loved one there, the Lions, Hollywood.
That would have been nice. That was a solid mark, Digger. That was over Harry Boyd.
I don't doubt him. He can take a mark. There's no doubt about that.
I'll tell you what, they've and that's how they need to go, Seymour. They need to actually get that ball out in front. A lot of the balls in the first quarter, they were kicking nearly along the ground. They try to spot up passes, which you need to put the ball out in front of your forwards like they did. Linden has got to turn this one over. Poor kick, all right. Chance for Wheeler. His kick wasn't much better. Teddy Linden soccers it out of there, puts it back towards centre half back. Here's Wong. He can run onto it. He does. Has one bounce. Chips it over the top. He'll find Matt Brett. He's just on attacking side of centre. Now their option to that. He's out here wide. His option was poor. He kicked it and missed the target. Scopel gets it. That's Rory Scopel. Goes long towards Hugh Robinson. Robinson's not going to be able to rein the ball in as it trickles over the boundary line in front of the scoreboard here at Deakin Reserve. 55 from home for the Lions, and they trail 6. Well, they're 6-4-40 of the Bears. 3-7-25. Seymour Lions were played 6.5 minutes into the second.
So both sides were lucky there. Linden was lucky that his errant kick out of the back line worked out okay. But here we go. The Lions have it. Half forward. Good kick to Robinson. 1-2 bites of the cherry. Good pressure from Harry Boyd. Bends down, picks it up to Mitch Brett, who just smashes it towards the boundary line. It pitches well inside. It'll keep in. A real one-on-one chase here by Liam Duguid. Was able to go. Beautiful little tap on. Wong got one in the back. No, holding the ball against Jimmy Wong. And Brent Ryan will take the free kick. Half forward flank. Probably not a bad call in the end. Ryan now has it in front of the Shepparton faithful. What does he do with it? Brent Ryan delivers it big 3-on-1. Dunstan up, takes the easiest of defensive marks. And a little bit of nerves setting in both sides here. The kick's coming inside 50.
One-on-ones.
Earned over.
One-on-ones, Digger. Jake O'Brien just needed to go harder at that pill then.
Your call, Kyle Power. Who wanted the football?
Yep.
One was coasting, one was chasing as Robinson comes through at centre half forward. What sort of hand pass is that? He was fortunate to hit Cole over round the shoulder. No, it's touched on the way through. Dunstan just got a hand to it. Minor score, Seymour go to 3-8-26. They trailed Shepparton Bears 6-4-40, 7.5 minutes gone, second term.
Stretton now has it from the kick in. One thing Jason Cole does a lot in that position is snap it. When I reckon he takes a few more steps, he can almost get onto his right and kick a normal drop punt.
Inside
a lack of talk.
Yeah.
Inside 50s this quarter, boys, but thanks to AJ's 5-1.
Yeah, Seymour's way, I take it.
Yep.
So perceived pressure sometimes when it's not there.
Yep.
Half back now, Allen for the Bears in front of a very healthy Shepparton faithful in front of their rooms.
Touch.
Long ball, looked like it was touched. It was. Holland just smashes it down. Wong missed it on the way through, bending over, picking it up. Brent Ryan, ping for holding the ball, should have been. And umpire now delivers. That was a really big tackle there by Hiscock. He's just trying to get free of Brent Ryan to get to Sharon.
Let him know about it.
He certainly did. He has it now. He'll deliver the ball further up the ground, looking for Nick Allen. Now he goes to Benny Davies. This is where they carve you up. The run was good over the top butts. Here's Matty O'Keefe, just needs to pick it up. He's been out for a little while, a little bit rusty. Shrugs the tackle aside, gets the handball to Sturgis. Sturgis now delivers it to a teammate in Scopel. Rory up the wing, finds O'Brien, spins around this way, does the old 360 handball over the top. Good backup running from Sturgis, but he's under the pump. The handball over the top was poor, looking for Robinson, and it falls over the line and out of bounds. The method was right, but it just didn't work out for the Lions. Attacking side they are. Outer side, right in front of the scoreboard here, that has the Bears leading by 14 points. And we are 9 minutes in to the second quarter with thanks to Shepparton Optical Services.
Boundary umpire throws it in. Hollard gets it to ground level. Clifton wins it. Gets tackled. Gets a rushed hand pass out the back. Geez, I tell you what, now they're going. Davies. The Bears can come out of defence, and they do, but only go as far as Cole, but he'll mark. And just on defensive side of centre, he'll go out to O'Brien. Actually had to do a bit more work then. I tell you what, he looks a bit lackadaisical to me, Kyle Power. With his attitude, goes to Cole. Looks there for you, Robertson. Can't mark it. Boyd can. Plays on quickly. Puts it out in front of Lukey Smith. McCarthy's there with him. Got the job. Smith pushed him out of the way. Goes back and wins the footy. Comes down the line. Looking for Bradrick. Half volley. Couldn't pick it up. Dylan Scopel could. Picks it up. Screws it round the body towards Billy Cox. Up before acceptances. Umpire's going to stay in the back. And that is going to be a free kick the way of Hiscock. He'll
Beautiful.
go to Rokar.
He just sliced and diced with that free kick there. Rowan Hiscock goes inside 50 looking for Wong. Good pressure by Brent Ryan on Wong. Wong kept his feet though. Was able to gather the bounce. Now he goes, it was a bit of an ordinary kick off the ground. Is it a ball? Almost. It bounced end over end. And then slammed against the goalpost.
Bounced everywhere.
It did for a point in the end after all that. 6-5-41, the Bears leading Seymour 3-8-26. It's back to 15 points.
10.5 minutes gone, second term. Dylan Scopel will mark it at half back and play on straight away. He does. Down the line he goes. He'll find McCarthy. McCarthy was there taking the mark. That's where you need to attack the football, and Hiscock got a fist in it and in there and put it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. 41 plays 26. Geez, I tell you what, that was similar to back here before what we've seen with O'Brien, not attacking the football by McCarthy. Ball comes back in. Grenfell out-fisted by Nick Allen to Rokar, running onto it. Davies at 50. Oh, the numbers are at the back. This will go straight over the back to Braderick, and he nearly killed 3 people in the front row at the Skeen Street end of the ground for a score, for a major. 7-5-47. Is what they go on to, 3-8-26.
Well, in the end, the turnover was critical from that boundary throw-in, and then, that was great work by Rowan Hiscock, Kyle, to get the fist over the line, first of all, in the boundary throw-in, and then they just worked it out of the clearance. Bradrick's on the end of it, bang.
Having a look at Benny Clifton, a little bit ginger off up on the half-forward flank. Hammer will be all over that, thanks to William Adams-Ag, but nice play there. Nicky Allen, lovely work.
Back in the middle, Grenfell tried to do it all himself, but was smothered on the way through. Cole gets a big clearance for the Lions. They need to peg one back. Robinson one out with Harry Boyd. What a clash that's been. Bending over, Mitch Brett just dribbles one along the ground. Who's going to be there first to the ball? It's going to be Billy Cox, but he can't quite pick it up. He went and looked for a teammate who got one a little bit high. Was the call from M. Van Dorser, and he's right. And it'll be a free kick to Jake Anderson. Half forward flank. He'll be a good 52 when he makes purchase. We've got a fairly good angle here in the commentary box as he's on the grandstand side, Skeen Street end of the ground. Puts to Sharon. Does he kick it, Greg?
Yeah, make the distance. Distance won't be a problem. Although these last couple of kicks in the last quarter, he got under him a bit.
Does he start at left goalpost and draw it back? Let's see what he does.
Right,
the kick is not too bad. It's a beauty. Geez, that's a perfect response if you're a Lions fan. And the perfect kick from Jakey Anderson, completely opposite to what I said. Start at right goalpost and work at left, and it was worked beautifully. With thanks to William Adams-Ag. Down to you, Hammer.
Just an update on Benny Clifton's injury. Hardly an injury. He's just got a bit of a knock, and he's just having a rest at the moment, but he should be back on field in no time.
Anderson's first goal for the Lions, and a very important one.
Lovely kick.
It was, and good bit of play there by Seymour. Finished off by
I think this end of the ground is actually there's a breeze blowing through there. I was standing down there before the game, and there's a bit of a breeze, so you need to, and in that first quarter, the Bears just seemed to kick more cleanly to that end. I think we're seeing Seymour being able to do that as the ball's back up in the middle. Davies tried to win it, but it comes out to Falcone's hand pass, where to go to no one. He's run on and got it himself, got tackled. Ball came out. They all called ball. It's the way of the world these days. You've got to look after the bloke trying to win it, and the umpire did. But now he'll ball it up because no one there. That was out here before, You see out here before where one player wins it and 3 wait and tackle. I just can't handle that for a free kick. Ball up, centre half forward.
They'll go at it. Hal Holland now. McMahon tapped it down. Free kick could have been paid there to Jonty Wardle. Now a high one by Harry Boyd. Went the fist option. Teddy Linden's also there. Ball hits the deck. Now here he is again. Mitchie Brett, plenty of coverage in front of him. He goes forward with a kick. Looking okay. Dylan Scopel, he's done it so many times. He backed his opponent under it. Almost took a beauty. Tackle. Big tackle put on him. And it was right on centre wing position. It'll be a ball up. Sorry, Michael.
Kyle, I was just wondering, Jason Cole is starting, if you're Brad Campbell, you're starting to get worried about him at the moment. He's had, he's up to 6 touches this quarter, to 17 for the game.
He's certainly an impact player. They've got to watch him.
They'll go at it again, half forward now. Long ball in by Rokar, up towards Hiscock out the back. Can he just pick it up? He does. Now he'll wheel round on the left, lower his eyes and find Matthew Brett. 20 metres out, sorry, Greg. Directly in front, shouldn't have any problem in registering goal number 3 for Matty Brett. Just half-time in the A-grade netball. It's the Shep Bears 31, leading Shepparton United 25.
This one, Kyle Power, is not one that Seymour really needed.
No,
but see how they work the ball to the pocket, right? And then their next kick's got to come back to the corridor. And there's always someone there. Geelong were really good at what they call lead and replace. And this is what they're doing as he comes in and kicks for goal. There's no problems with that one. Goal umpire stands there like a tin soldier. 8-5-53. And it's a 21-point margin. Seymour 4-8-32. Now, how's he kicked? 3 or 4?
3.
Yeah, so it's been dangerous. And that, what I was explaining, Geelong were brilliant at that in the Bartel era, where they'd go wide. If the centre-half forward leads out, the next ball comes back into the corridor, so they know exactly where it's going to go. They come back in,
just positioning.
It's called lead and replace. It's a simple process. And Seymour are falling for it lock, stock and barrel because they're drawing all the defenders to the flank.
Yep, 100% spot on. Greg Sharp, 1FM, Seymour FM 103.9, as well as we wait for the Sherrin to be not replaced, but to be led into the middle of the ground. 8-5-53 the Bears.
They need a couple in quick succession, Seymour, because
they do.
At the moment it's going one for the other.
That's right, and they've always got that buffer, and that buffer at the moment reads 21 points. 4-8-32 Seymour. We're 15 minutes into this second quarter. Holland rose high, got the tap. McMahon really didn't go near it. He chases after it. An opportunity now for Rokar if it sits up for him. He does it nicely now, snaps it round, looking up to half forward. Butts went up high, was missed it on the way through. Brent Colbert there, paddled along in front of himself, but in the end he ran out of room and took it over the line and out of bounds. 53 the Bears, Seymour 32. Kyle Power.
Where do you sit, Kyle Power, with what you just seen then, when a player runs along and just pushes a player? I'll tell you what, I can't handle that. I can't have that because the player in front is concentrating on the ball, and you come along. There's something that's come into the game over the last 10 so years where a player comes in and pushes them off the ball. I thought you were supposed to use a hip and shoulder to dispossess them of the ball. But, I mean, it's going both ways. It's just something that doesn't sit well with me. Nicky Allen comes through and he can't, he does take possession of the footy, but the boundary line out there at right half forward is too close and he runs over the boundary line. Just the player, and this is what I'm always on about, the player that's got his head over the ball and running for the ball has got to be the one that you've got to look after. He's the playmaker, and if you take the playmaker out of the game, it destroys it a bit. Here's a chance for Matt Ryan to run onto it, and he does. Right half forward, 50 out, puts it at the top end of the square. We're too strong, Matt Brett.
You rarely see Dylan Scopel out-muscled, out-positioned completely then, and Matt Brett just almost just manhandled him out of it completely and then took the easiest of uncontested marks.
This will sting, Dig, because they've worked really hard, Seymour, and we've seen it last week against Kai where they were able to work really hard and then bust up towards the last quarter. So this is massive for Brett.
Close game, but I'm starting to rethink at half-time, that's for sure, as Brett goes back and kicks goal number 4 and puts a really big breathing space between these two. 9-5-59, Shepparton. Brett has 4 now and a couple in a minute to Seymour 4-8-32. And I'll ask Michael Van Dorst, I'm pretty sure 27 points is a game-high margin at the moment.
Yeah, I do believe so, yep.
So we've travelled 18 minutes into this second quarter with thanks to our wonderful sponsors, Shepparton Optical Services, who are doing a great job yet again in 2017. Ball waiting for the ball to get back in the middle.
You're right.
Shep, Seymour.
Scopel's got to stand off him.
Yeah, and
jump into him.
Geez, you rarely see it. We've seen last week Scopel's outstanding in the one-on-one.
He was.
Yeah.
But he's being out-positioned today, no doubt about it.
Not reading it well today. So what's he got to do? He's got to change his tactics on him and try and get a bit of ground so they can run and jump at him. Ball clipped him in the middle.
Took him on.
Geez, it took him on all right. Ball came out and out the back. It's not going to come out, actually. The umpire's got to ball this one up. It's on attacking side of centre for Seymour, but albeit only just. I think it's umpire Andrew Wright there's going to put it back up.
This game for mine is on tenterhooks in terms of what we're going to see for the rest of the afternoon. The Lions really need to respond and respond quickly. Brett from half back after the handball from Rokar up to centre wing looking for a teammate. The bounce went inside the boundary line. It kept in. Here's an opportunity now for Shepparton. Up to half forward, Bradrick. Lloyd. Bradrick's been really strong today. Scopel has it now, wheels around. He's got AJ McCarthy in his 100th, all on his lonesome, deep in defence. He decides to go right across the goals and make Meredith really work for it. He's got it now, Brett Meredith.
What a use,
shoulder strapped. Goes a long ball looking for Matty O'Keefe, who flies high. Did well on the contest, got it on the bounce. Now in front of Brett, takes him on. Goes up to half forward, shows a little bit of run and grit, that's for sure. He beats up to Hughie Robinson, but Boyd's doing an absolute number on him at the moment. Darts around him and goes to the wing with a beautiful kick, looking for Stretton. It just went through his two hands. Now an opportunity for Matty O'Keefe. Was tackled by Andronako. Then to Sturgis, inboard to Hay, who has it for Seymour up to half forward. Look at Boyd, real one-on-one, and has won the free kick against Hugh Robinson for a hold on his arm. And Harry Boyd will have it, half-back flank for the Shepparton Bears, who lead it by 27 as we approach 20 minutes in this second quarter. Sharpie.
Boyd. Now, let's see if we've got some movement down here. A bit more movement from the Bears. Got to go long. He's got to look for Lloyd. Lloyd will fly with McCarthy. Ball will come off the pack and hit the deck, and it will be Sturgis that will escort it over the boundary line. True centre wing, grandstand side, and we'll have the boundary throw in. 20 and a half minutes gone. 59 plays 32 in favour of the Bears, and geez, I'll tell you what, they're really, one thing Seymour can't afford here is another goal.
Beautiful tap by Holland down to Stratton. Andronako riding shotgun, finds it to Davies now, who'll fire the ball inside 50, looking for Wong out the back. They're doing it almost on the bit, but he missed it on the way through. A little bit of accidental contact, I thought, but just left. He left one. I think it was his knee by accident as the Seymour player went over the top of him trying to get out of his road. And he's a bit groggy.
They're Craig Campbell and Kobe thinking, get back up, son, we need you.
Kyle, crowd, what do you think? Beautiful day.
Good. It's pretty good. I think a lot of...
You had to park down the Mill Street, Mel?
Park in a paddock. But no, look, it's good from a Shepparton perspective. Of course, we knew that had happened. Because James Wong, he doesn't look right.
No. I personally thought it was accidental on the way through. You're thinking it's a bit more than that?
Nah, it was a boot. Looked like he copped the boot.
No, it wasn't deliberate. It certainly wasn't. But just looking at him, yet to get up. He's in the hands of the trainers as we'll take a bit of time. Stretcher been called.
No, I don't think it hasn't been called yet.
Players just form a bit of a huddle.
It's not a good look anyway, regardless of what...
Blood rule anyway.
He's actually, he's groggy, so he might be concussed.
Score check, 9-5-59 the Bears, leading Seymour 4-8-32. Earlier today, it was Kyabram in the under-18s defeating Shepparton 62-47. In the reserves, big winners Kyabram again, 107 to United's 15. That sees Kyabram in all three grades next Sunday afternoon, as well as their A-grade netball team. So they celebrations could be long and hard.
His day's done, Digger. I'm calling it now. He won't be back on the ground, James Wong, yet to kick a goal. And his AJ stats, please, Michael.
James Wong, 5 touches, 1 mark inside 50, 2 behinds. Playing more of a lead-up sort of forward today, I reckon.
With the netball A-grade, it is the Bears 31, United 25 in the Old Firm, the Derby. In the under-17s, Echuca 38, Shep Bears 31. In the B reserve, United 35, lost to the Swans 52. And in the B grade, Echuca 42, defeated United 35. So there's only a half of netball to go as we wait for James Wong to slowly make his way off the ground.
Concussion rule, do we have that here?
Yeah, we do. We do have a concussion rule, I would dare say, and they get to obviously see what goes on with, go through his pieces.
Well, grand final week, interesting story happening there, I would think, if they do happen to get there, Sharpie.
Well, the interesting thing, here's a question for you, Kyle Power. Stratton's hardly been cited today, but the player playing on him is also in Harrison Wheeler. Now, by tagging these two players, Hockley's hardly been cited, but also Davies hasn't had much of an impact as we saw last week.
It's like they're nullifying.
So they're nullifying each other. Is that to me at the moment, that seems to be to the advantage of the Bears more so than Seymour. They're paying too much attention to stopping players instead of actually winning the ball and being an attacking side.
Get into it. Holland was able to get it down. Here's an opportunity for the Bears close to the forward pocket. Smith gets bowled over.
Another
boundary throw in.
Actually opens them up now with Wong off the ground. Wouldn't think he'd come back.
So
What's happened there, Michael?
Renfield just not liking the attention Holland's giving him at the moment.
Argy-bargy.
Bit of
feeling.
argy in the
They
place.
both go at it again. And Holland just smashes it down. He's done a great job. Dylan Scopel got it, but was tackled by Matt Brett. Close to their goal. An opportunity for Nick Allen out the back. Really close to the Bears' goal. And McCarthy watches it dribble over the line and out of bounds. Skeen Street end of the ground.
So the other one's Luke Smith as well.
Yep.
McCarthy's tagging him.
Yep.
So is there too many players being negative
From Seymour to
from Seymour
Yeah.
instead of being attacking
You're right,
players
yeah.
trying to
You're
win the ball? Ball comes off the pack. Allen has a quick shot for goal for the Bears and has nailed it. Under extreme pressure, got it to his right foot and put it right through the middle. That goes, is that 9 or 10? That's 9-5-59?
No,
10-5-65.
Jeez.
Geez, that one was,
That one hurts,
what did I
Greg.
say just before? But
Yep.
they can't afford to have another couple of goals before half-time, and they've allowed that one in. And have a look at the gap that was left at the back of the pack then to the side for Nick Allen to run through. Mind you, he had to be good enough to do it, but there was no one there to stop him.
At the moment, with thanks to AJ's motorcycles, Michael.
Nick Allen's one of those players that's getting off the leash for Seymour, for Shep here. He's up to 13 touches.
That's because they're tagging everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Holland up in the ruck. Grenfell's able to get it down. Greg Sharp wants to see a more positive attitude from the Lions in the second half as Falcone drives a big ball up to half forward. Now, someone was cleaned up
Xavier
on
McMahon.
the way through, and it'll be a down-the-field free kick. You can hear the crowd go, ooh,
Xavier McMahon, I think it was.
with that one.
Oh,
Or
why
is it
shouldn't
Clifford
it be
against?
No,
It's
it's not.
against the
No,
goal.
no, it was against the
I know what
Lions.
the umpire's doing.
Blood rule.
Blood rule.
Was it against McMahon?
I believe it is against McMahon here,
And
boys.
he's, in the end, he's hurt himself on the way through. So the free kick will go the way of Andronako. With thanks to William Adams Ag. Down to you, Hammer. What did you see?
Thank you very much. It was absolutely McMahon's fault. Andrew Narco came out on top of that one, but it was McMahon's fault. Just a quick update on James Wong. He's answering all the right questions. Where are you? What's your name? How many fingers am I holding up? He's just being assessed by the Bears trainers now, but I doubt that he'll be back on, but I'll keep you updated.
Not a chance, I wouldn't think, the way he walked off.
Shep Bears fans are giving it to McMahon because he was the one that came through and gave the free kick away. Now he's off the field
With the blood rule.
with a bit of claret coming out of the top lip. So
Thanks,
Andrew
AJ,
Narco,
that's what, 3-1 blood rules in favour of Seymour?
yeah. So Andrew Narco has it now and drives a long ball up to half forward. Plenty of place. Fly. Beautiful mark. Johnny Bradbury loves these conditions. He's got a good set of hands. He wheels around and finds Joel Brett all on his lonesome.
Hey, watch, he's just getting into position, Digger. The big
40
late-
out directly in front, and Brett will go back and line it up for his first. Sorry, Kyle.
Oh,
The big lady. The
Oh,
one that
she's
starts
ready to.
singing. Oh, she's just starting
She's
to brighten
gargling.
up,
Brett's
Sharpie.
passed it off here, boys.
I was just going to ask you,
Wardle.
Michael,
Yep.
what's O'Brien's stats this quarter?
Jake O'Brien, 2 touches this quarter to go with 2 into the first.
So Joel Brett, whilst we were just talking a little bit of shop, has just given it to Jonty Wardle. The angle not so good, but in terms of distance, a lot better. So Wardle, we don't know what his stats are. I don't think there's been too many, but he'll
2.
line it up.
That's his second.
Third
Got
touch,
it.
he goes
Got
back and says, oh, I'm happy with that. The Bears are marching on to a potential grand final, which they haven't been in for a good 17 years, Kyle Power.
No.
2000 was the last time.
Correct.
11-5-71, looking the goods at the moment. Seymour stuck on 4-8-32. We've travelled 27 minutes into this second quarter, and I'm just checking. Seymour haven't kicked a goal since the 12-minute mark of this quarter, so it's been a while.
Who's going to kick 4 goals for Seymour?
It's got to be powerful.
Yeah, don't know.
That's the big problem. Holland in the ruck's been good as well.
Hanging on,
Free
Cole
kick.
free.
I can't see them kicking 4 more goals at the moment.
No.
That's because they're too busy.
Yeah.
They're playing a negative style of game instead of worrying about
Dunstan.
winning their own. Look at that. He just
Yeah.
worked him under.
free kick.
No.
Anyway, free kick to Huey Robinson off the ball. It'll go against Harry Boyd, and he's filthy too.
Don't blame him.
So Hugh Robinson
I know some blokes in days gone by would have thrown their mouth guard on the ground over that one.
in disgust, but Robinson gets a free kick now. He just needs to go back and slot it. There is absolutely no other option for Hugh Robinson. Kicks it right on 50. Long drop punt. Won't be a goal. Will be a behind 4-9-33. Stick around, listeners. Shepparton 11-5-71. We've got the coach of the all-conquering Kyabram Football Club, Paul Newman, to join us very, very soon up in the box. So we're looking forward to that. And we've got Jason Welsh with us as well.
comes out. Joel Brett will mark it right half back. He'll go down the line looking for Matt Brett. He will mark. No, he didn't this time. He missed it. Tips it out in front.
Free kick.
Okay. Actually, the other way.
Jeez. He's ginger too, O'Keefe.
Geez, that was...
Pop one in the
might
snots.
have been that. Hand pass will go backwards. Sturgis. O'Keefe lays the Shepherd on. Gives Sturgis a bit of free ground. Has a bounce. Oh, geez, I tell you what. Well done there, Mitch Waite. Put on the Shepherd. Look at that kick.
3-1.
Geez, I tell you what.
He lowered the eyes, but he hit the Shep player there.
And have a look where they've gone to. I mean, if you're in a start position, at least you've got to be positive. So there's nobody at centre half forward. They can keep Dunstan will mark it. So they're going to work it across half. Well, the last line of defence are the Bears. They lead 71-33 as we go 29 and a half minutes. They go out wide. Now they've got the opportunity at ground level. They couldn't pick it up. Billy Cox is another one that's been really quiet for Seymour. Puts it back to centre half forward. He goes to Rory Scopel. Well, he's been quiet too. I'd like to know how many he's had, Michael.
This is his fifth.
He plays on quickly. Long ball. Actually didn't have much momentum. Dunstan's there. They get a touch on it. They do. They finally work it through. Jake Anderson didn't have an opportunity. Here's the perfect example. 1, 2, 3 Bears to 1 Seymour player. How's that happening? Where are the other two gone? So 71 plays 34 now. They peg it back by 1 point at the 30-minute mark.
Linden, back pocket. It'll be a long quarter with Wong off the ground. Concussion worries with him. Oh, Bradrick takes a nice mark and gets dealt with by Robinson right on half-time. Here in the preliminary final of the Gotafe Golden Valley Football League score check, Shepparton marching beautifully towards a grand final spot up against Kai next week. Shepparton 11-5-71, leading Seymour 4-10-34. You're on the home of country football, 98.5 1 FM and Seymour FM 103.9.
Yes, I did the best I could.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuses, really.
Let's get into it. Third quarter action with thanks to Harvey Norman, Greg Sharp for 1FM.
Oh, here we go with Sturgis. Let's see if he can weave out the pack. He does, but Nicky Allen runs him down from behind. He had plenty of opportunity to get rid of it. And I'll tell you what, they all disappeared and left him there by himself. And the Bears came in numbers and nailed him just on the attacking side. And he's played well on the attacking side of the centre, but let's go forward now. That should have even been 50 then. They've just got the numbers everywhere. Dunstan marks just on attacking side of centre, and they've been everywhere. That's the thing with Brad Campbell. He's mixed it up. He's had his players everywhere. What have we got to whistle here? It's going to be a free kick to Dylan Scoble.
It will be. And in the netball, it was Shepparton United in the A grade getting the job done over Shepparton, who led for the majority of the Bears. 54 United, Shep Bears 51, so through to a grand final to take on Kyabram. Is that right, Michael?
That is correct there.
Half-back, wheel up, has it in front of the grandstand. He looks for Jake Anderson. Well done, Teddy Linden on the way through. Billy Cox close to the boundary line. It falls over and out. Don't forget to stick with us post-game. We'll be discussing all the grand finals next week. Boundary umpire tosses it back in. Immediately in front of me, Grenfell got the tap. It was a good one. On the way through Sturgis, good pressure from Rokar. Yeah, should have been a free kick to Sturgis. Well, good call, Kyle, and well done, umpire. He heard your call. Sturgis has it now. He gives it to Rory Scopel with the handball. The kick was a bit of a mung inside 50, a bit of a chaos ball. Wardle out the back, paddles it close to the boundary line, and in the end, he just runs it over the line while Jake O'Brien pleads to the central. Is that deliberate? No, it's not. Boundary umpire will toss it back in, 10 around from the Bears.
Hey, Kyle, and that's something they've been good at, Seymour, pleading to the umpire.
Yes.
The best way to get a free kick.
I've talked to him a bit today.
To the line's end.
Yeah, go and get a Clifton off the pack. His kick's partly smothered, travelling forward. Oh, geez, I tell you what, that was a vicious tackle there on Boyd.
How is that?
He had no prior opportunity.
How's that what?
I'm just looking at the umpires throwing their arms up in the air, calling for ball. He's just taken possession of it, and he's been clamped.
No, the umpire's just crossed.
I know the umpire, but
the
Seymour players are pleading for holding the ball.
No way. Umpire 100% correct in that decision. I tell you what, he had to cop some traffic too. Ball goes up. Grenfell taps it down. I think it might be just touched. Yes, it was Billy Cox that was coming through there, but it was only a minor score, 4-11-35. Or have they beat me? No, they haven't. 4-11-35 plays 11-5-71. 2.5 gone, Kyle.
Paul Newman at half-time brought up a good point. Shepherd are getting their goals far, far easier than what Seymour are, even though similar amount of scoring shots. Seymour have to work really hard for their goals. Ball in the middle of the ground. Waite bends over, picks it up. Was Ryan, in fact, got it back to Dylan Scopel. So they're just working it nicely. On the wing it goes, McCarthy. Handball further up the field to Meredith. The kick up to half forward. Good to Clifton. It's a little bit of tempo. They're just using the footy at the moment, keeping possession of it. Clifton, 60 from goal. This is the key kick. He chips it and coughs it up, Allen, and they give away a free kick as well.
James Lloyd's numbers, please, Michael, thanks to AJ's.
One touch.
I'm not sure what Clifton was thinking there, but the kick there, really poor. And now the Bears have it off half-back. The kick further up the ground. And to the wing position, Meredith takes it. Handballs in board to Sturgis. We need a bit of run. Something to happen. He's been tackled, stripped of the ball. Beautiful tackle, Matty Brett. And the Bears have it just defensive side of the centre square. And
twice he's been holding the ball in
he
this
has
already.
Sturgis he was trying to provide some run, but at the same time just got pinged.
No one leading. Nothing, absolutely nothing happening. This bloke's playing a ripper game for the Bears. Nicky Allen, he drives them into attack. Brent Ryan can't mark it. Ball hits the deck. Grenfeld's there. He straightens them back up 2-on-1. I bet you they don't win it. Rokar laid the tackle on. They do now. Sturgis got it off Hockley. He can run to the centre of the Deakin Reserve. He goes to Robinson.
That's a free kick.
Yeah, Dunstan, no, I tell you what. Robinson should have went harder. Should have had the hands out in front. Wardle's got it. Centre wing, outer side. He can run and pick it up. He does now.
Allen.
Steadies there. They're on all right. Allen's at centre half forward. He marks. Steadies. Now goes back to the corridor. Mitch Brett's led and marked at true centre half forward within distance because it's only 40 metres out as Matt Brett hops off the ground and he can kick the journey here, no worries.
This is the key now. They've got a sizable lead. They've got injury concerns with a couple of players, and this bloke's engine today. He has been outstanding, Mitchy Brett.
He'll line it up. He'll kick right on 50. Distance, not a problem. And either is the finish as Mitch Brett goes.
Hit the post up. The old
I thought the crowd and I got sucked in as well.
I did
just
too.
shaved the posts through for a minor, so we get sucked in beautifully.
Hammer's got something, Dick.
With thanks to William Adams Ag. Down to you, Hammer.
Paul Digger Chikerico, just an update on the netball. United won in the A grade 54-51. James Wong is concussed. He lost the footy in the sun and got a knee accidentally to the face. And Mitchy Brett is off with a bit of knee troubles in his left knee.
That might be Matty Brett. But anyway, off the wing, it's
Free kick here, boys.
free kick to Clifton, is it? To Seymour?
No,
they
it's-
look for the advantage, but nothing doing.
I actually thought it was to Shep, but obviously not.
No,
She'll
it's
wait.
Which way?
Yep, halfback has it. Score check sees the Bears 42 up at the moment. 7 goals clear of Seymour. Something's got to give here. Meredith over the top to Colbert. Hasn't had a lot of it. And that handball probably sums up Colbert's day at the moment with poor one. After Allen, chain of handballs. The Bears are going to run through the middle. Rokar, long ball to Bradrick. Got his eyes on it. Takes a beauty. 45 out directly in front. Putting on a clinic is Johnny Bradrick. Just sit it up there.
Hands on knees, arms behind the head. Sharpie from the Seymour Footy Club at the moment. They're shot.
What was the difference in the two passages of play? Seymour going forward and the Bears, Kyle?
The handball.
The lead up forward.
The
lead up forward.
Seymour mucked around, 3 hand passes, turned it over. They picked it up. Where'd they go? One long kick to Bradrick, who knew the ball was going to come in long, had to be courageous, and he was, and took a very good mark. He should go back. Hopefully for his efforts, he goes back and kicks a goal, and he does this time right through the middle. They get their 13th goal, Shepparton, 13-5, 83, plays 4-11, 35, 6.5 minutes gone, third term. And Mitch Brett off half-back.
Again.
If you're playing as a forward, you've got to be a defender when you haven't got the football. And the kick that came there from Mitch Waite before, he kicked to a contest that was 5-2. 5 Bears to 2 Seymour players. My question would be, if I was coaching, was where's the other 3 players and what are they doing?
Mr. September.
They don't want the football.
Johnny Bradrick, Dick.
Yeah, he's turned it on today.
Yeah, and last week.
His marking prowess today has been something to behold.
Free
Out
kick.
the middle, a free kick will go the way of Grenfell of Seymour.
Against
Sent
Rokar.
bounce to Cole.
Too early in.
Cole now to Meredith, streaming through the middle of the ground. Long ball. Robinson hit the deck. That meant Harry Boyd had eyes on the ball. He should be pinged almost for holding the ball. Somehow got rid of it. Went to do good. Now Davies, who hasn't had a hell of a lot of it. Rokar. Couple of handballs. Back to Davies. Up the wing they go. Oh, look at the room big Jimmy Lloyd's got. The handball now to Joel Snowy Brett. They're doing an absolute clinic at the moment. Andrew Narco all on his own. Seymour are just like witches' hats at the moment. The chip over the top, even further to Brett. And the manning up has just gone absolutely astray.
The issue I think Seymour have got is their defenders haven't been able to spoil the ball. Every time, or close to every time that Shepparton have gone in this quarter even, they've been able to take a mark inside 50. 4 inside 50s for 4 marks inside 50.
What score have you got, Michael?
12-6, 78 to 4-11, 35.
That's what I thought it was, and I'm just getting a little bit confused with what the scoreboard's
Extra
got.
goal.
There is an extra goal up there, I believe. There's only been one kick to...
Well, here's an opportunity to fix that. Joel Brett with a kick on goal.
You're going to take one off, Dick.
To the left-hand side. Well, sometimes I'm pretty confident with my scoreboard. 12-7, 79 is what I have. 4-11, 35. Michael might need to just go in and knock on the door and just say, boys, what's actually happening? Because we are miles out at the minute. Now bending over, picking it up, Wardle backwards with a handball to Holland. Further up the field there was Andronako, then back to Holland again. They're going to work it inside 50. Oh, good tackle there by the Lions. Clifton's there to help out. Sorry, O'Keefe. Struggling in the back line. He's able to paddle it on. Brent Ryan also. Plenty of players mill around it. It'll be a ball up. Shepparton forward line inside probably 20 metres from their goal. So Michael, I'm always confident if I'm the same as you, and I've got 79 to 35, but the scoreboard reads something else. Kick around the corner by Nick Allen. Missed to the left-hand side with that snap. 12-8, 80. The Bears leading Seymour 4-11. 35. Maybe we missed something.
I've just counted my goals and they've add up to 12. So
Meredith at centre half back for the Lions. He'll come out wide towards Billy Cox. Up against Mitch Brett. Got the fist away. Andronako can run onto it. Does hand pass backwards. Finds Rokar. His look away hand pass will find Andronako again. They're mucking around with it a bit. Hacks it back out towards the wing. But Mitch Brett's there. He can steady and go straight down the line. He's going to miss it. Davies the out of bounds. Hockley at left half back for the Lions can play on, and he does now. He goes infield. Geez, I'll tell you what, not a good option, although it turned out all right. Hiscock flew early and it went over the top for Mitch Waite. Waite on the right foot will go to right half forward. Not a very good kick, but he'll find Robinson on the bounce to O'Brien. O'Brien will come back inside to Grenfell, who's run from the centre of the ground into the right forward pocket and taken a nice chest mark to shoot on goal from about 20 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Thanks to AJ's. How many has Billy Cox and Waite got for the Lions, please, MVD?
Give me a second. We've got 8 touches between them.
Not a
5 and 3.
It's just come off the ground, who's usually gets it a lot, is Harrison Wheeler. Won their B&F this year.
He's had 9 touches thanks to AJ's.
More output from him.
But Stratton, he's tagging Stratton, and Stratton's hardly had a touch.
Grenfell, he's hit the behind post. Fair in the gut, so it'll be out on the full.
Hasn't had a good day kicking in front of goals. 2 out of bounds on the full, 1 out of bounds.
No, so Stratton now has it. Streams out of the back line to the outer side. Looks to try and find Lukey Smith just inside the boundary line. He takes it, wheels around now. Chips the ball further up the field for James Lloyd. Spill probably what he should have taken. He had no pressure. The handball back was good, though, to Hiscock. He further just sort of throws it over his head. It turns out okay for the Lions. Grenfell over the top to the coach, Colbert. Handball over the top to Jake Anderson. Not sure what he was thinking. He was flat-footed. Very much so. It goes back to Grenfell, who takes on the tackler. Now, this kick needs to be spot on to Scopel. It was okay, but then he went through it a second time. Kick by Hockley. Coughed it up into the goal square. Sammy Dunstan there to save the day.
Goalkeeper.
And
He will. He'll come out Dunstan out wide. With Robinson there. Actually did good body work on Joel Brett, but it went over the back of the pack and it rolled towards the boundary line in front of the Shep United Footy Netball Club rooms, and umpire Andrew Wright will pay a free kick because Hugh Robinson threw it straight at him over the top. Actually, they all missed it. Bradrick and Scopel coming through Brent Ryan. Got a hand past Meredith. Meredith can square him up at centre half back and go to O'Keefe. He does. Well marked by Matt Ryan. I wouldn't hold on to him like that, young man. And Matt O'Keefe shrugged him off. He'll go by hand to Dylan Scopel. Scopel will come out wide, and here looking for Robinson. He'll mark, and a good mark too. But the problem, Kyle Power, is he's on defensive side of centre. Look at that ball in the middle. It's a shocker to Hiscock. Hiscock can play on quickly. Lukey Smith has gone. He's turned McCarthy inside out at the back. Smith. Robinson's he's got to give a free kick. Surely he'll go the way of Luke Smith.
They're frustrated now, the Lions. Nothing's working for them.
Underestimated the opponent there.
And what happened then? What was that coming in again? Nice long ball.
Yeah, high ball.
High ball. Put the defenders under
Nothing
pressure.
of this bloke.
But that kick across is the killer.
Yep.
You know, then you've got players
it just
streaming
opens
one
up.
way and then they've got to come back the other way.
Opens up the ground, and blokes like this who did well to keep his feet. As I said, there's not much of him, but he's a smart footballer.
Lukey Smith will line it up and go bang, and has registered another one to the Shepparton Bears in his second. They stroll along
That's
to
it,
13-8-86. Kyle's calling it, and you know what? He probably could have called it
Before half.
an hour ago, and I reckon you would have been right. Just the way that
That's
these two sides are being played.
Final nail, or one off anyway.
So Smith kicks 2. We have the scoreboard here reading 13-8-86 Shepparton, leading Seymour 4-11-35. I'd love to know where the scoreboard attendants are getting that 14th goal from. But anyway.
I think it might have been the Mitchy Brett one. Maybe they penciled that in.
The one that,
the one that hit the post.
Yeah, but the ball never came back to the centre. Holland in the middle. Rokar wins it. Round the body towards centre half forward. Andronako there. Ball bounces. Meredith but runs over it as well. McCarthy lifted his eyes too early. Hand pass intercepted by Andronako. Went to Matt Ryan. His hand pass was intercepted by Matt O'Keefe, and he went to ground and wrapped it up, and the umpire said, we'll ball it up at centre half forward for the Bears. They're 45 metres from home, and they lead by a considerable amount. We're trying to verify that.
One thing's for sure, we'll find out at three-quarter time.
That we will.
Umpires, recheck things. So half forward now for the Bears, but coming out of defence was Jason Cole with a little bit of a spiral out to the wing in front of the grandstand. Dunstan gathers it, very smart, waited for the Seymour players to come at him, then he dished off a little handball to Harry Boyd, back to Rokar. Rokar's kick over the top to Stretton. So half forward, he's starting to gather a few posies, is Dave Stretton.
Wheeler's still off the ground too.
Now he delivers the ball to Bradrick, got it on the half volley, ricocheted up off his scont. It fell to Matty O'Keefe, who just does the old don't argue to Hockley with a handball into the middle of the ground, but it's a one-on-one. Do good there. He missed it on the way through. Falcone's there, but look at the numbers the Bears have got in support. Linden into the middle of the ground. Kick not so good to Meredith. Meredith up to half forward finds Rory Scopel. He stops, he props, he chips the ball to the forward pocket. O'Brien has it now. Decides to lower the eyes and just cough the ball up to Sammy Dunstan. Poor kick by Jake O'Brien.
Sam Dunstan's playing a Lachlan Smith role, isn't he?
Phone's touched beautifully.
Shocker.
Kyle?
Yes?
Sam Dunstan playing a Lachlan Smith role at the moment.
Like it.
Just like, the thing is that what Seymour's doing now too is pushing players back. They haven't got anyone that's running. If you push players back and you want to play like they do in the AFL, you've got to have players that can run the length of the ground. They haven't got anyone. Ball back in. Chance for Allen at ground level, but it went the way of Butts. He got a hand pass back to Rokar. Rokar will go back. Wardle. Wardle's hand pass go out wide. Stretton picked up another one. Now it'll go back to Butts. Left half back. Goes down the line towards right half forward. Could have even got a free kick there. The free kick will be paid. Actually, no. No. That's right. Should have been a free kick the way of Shepparton. And he'll probably pay 50 metres as well for playing on. I thought the free kick was going to go the way. It looks like Rowan Hiscock that won the free kick. And Dylan Scope played on.
What's going on?
Yep. So now he's going to take him 50. Hiscock will make the distance. No problem whatsoever, because the umpire right's probably pulled him up about 30 metres from goal.
Matt Brett, I think, boys.
In front. Is it Matt Brett, is it?
Yeah, top knot.
Yep.
We've got the man bun happening.
That's it.
Top knot.
Top knot, man bun.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Just for 5.
You're going to get one more?
Yep. Definitely not. I don't have hair that grows that far.
Oh, let it go. Don't go a bit fez.
Yeah, no, not even a chance.
Matty Brett will line up for goal number 5, Kyle.
Yes.
One of the worst hairstyles going
Been
around, I
very
must say.
good today, this bloke.
He has been instrumental.
Yep.
As Matty Brett. He'll line it up, 20 out from goal. Shouldn't have any problems at all posting goal number 5.
No.
You know what?
We've mozzed him.
Does. 13-9, 87, Shepparton.
And a free kick.
Against him too.
Give it
So
a
now he'll go again. How stupid's that? Actually, I'll tell you what.
Want to be careful.
He was lucky he didn't get reported.
Yeah, you don't want to be getting reported knowing you're going to be playing in a grand final next week.
Well, that's
for sure.
exactly right. And the Lions would know that.
This quite possibly could be 100 here, boys.
Jeez. He's gone 100.
The Hundy.
quite possibly is 100.
He's going to be...
50-metre penalty. Sets
Okay.
the half back. Umpire just lining them up.
It is filmed.
Brent Ryan.
Not too sure if we go after hours, Digger, with that sort of stuff.
You don't want to be
If the umpires,
getting involved there.
I believe if the umpires suggest it, then they can have a look at it, but I don't think it's completely, all matches aren't completely match reviewed.
I don't think it's warranted at this stage. But anyway, Ryan now, the handball off to Meredith, squares it up to the grandstand side, finds AJ McCarthy. Hasn't been a positive 100th for himself, but fantastic effort nonetheless. Up to half forward, finds Clifton. 60 from goal, Benny Clifton. He's been okay. He's kicked a couple for his side. And now the kick to forward pocket finds Jake O'Brien.
Nearly give it to Clifton there.
Hey, this bloke's been terrible.
The kick was, in the end, it was okay for Rory Scope.
Wow.
The kick coming in was really poor, and Shepard set up so well. They've set up so well. And I think that's big boy Harry Boyd.
Big boy.
Who has it. Kicks it over the top, finds Teddy Linden in acres of space. The kick further up the field finds Wardle. And now he takes it. In fact, it was Butts up to half forward looking for the big Bradrick. He was there, fell over. Good work there by Hay. In the back line, the Lions have it. The old 1-2. Hay down the wing. Good spearing kick finds. Is that Colbert, Sharp?
Falcone.
Falcone.
Yep, he's been quiet too. Actually, I was trying to think who was playing on him. Liam Dogood's been playing on him.
Yeah.
See what he's done. He's done a really good job on his hardly been
stopper, Dogood.
Yep, comes back in, chance for Hay, but I tell you what, not if Matt Brett's there. The ball was set up far too high. I tell you what, they're kicking. Stratton will get it. Seymour's kicking has been along the ground or far too high. There's been no real good stuff. Geez, I'll tell you what, Bradrick around the body. That'll be from centre half forward. That'll be another one.
How good is this bloke?
He turned it on there.
6,
Oh,
4 for him. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Brett. Sorry. Yep, 4
for Brett.
Well, there you go. There's 4 and 5 from your two major forward. What's that? 9 goals between the pair of them.
Correct. He's the pure forward. He's the natural forward. He takes a solid mark. He's good around goals. He's a lovely set shot. And tipped it off there with a nice 4th goal for Bradrick.
What I liked about that, Cole, it wasn't just your normal mark, clunk, go back and kick it. It was at ground level.
Yep.
He took on the tackler, spun round and snapped it through. 4 for Johnny Bradrick. We've got 93 Shepparton Seymour stuck on 4-11-35 and not moving in a hurry at all. Andronako out of the middle. Looked for Stratton, missed it on the way through. Ball stuck in the middle of the ground. It'll be a ball up. So Shepparton are going to record a big win. What we thought was going to be a ding-dong battle earlier today. A close one is what we all said. It's been anything but. Quarter time.
I said before the game to Peter O'Keefe, I was talking to him, he said, what do you reckon? I said, I reckon it'll be one above the shoulders today, and it has been too. The Bears have been good. They've planned well, and they've played well. They've stuck to their game plan.
They've executed it.
Executed it really well.
Yep.
Kyle, Nick Allen's game today. 20 touches he's up to.
Yeah, contested work's been super.
And this is where I think Seymour have fallen down by taking Stratton and Davies out of the game. They've allowed Nick Allen, another player, another top one of their players. He's just a great little player, Nick Allen. He just goes in and gets the footy like the bloke that handed it back, Rokar. Umpire to put it up, attacking side of centre for the Bears. Stratton will win it. This time the hand pass was there for Hiscock, didn't give it to him. He runs to 50. No, he's not going to make the distance, or Scope will drop what he should have taken. He had Matt Brett done cold, and it spilled out of his hands, went through for a minor score. So they've got 99, plays 35. It's a bit shorter. That's what, at 93 or 94. 94. To O'Keefe. The kick's a bad one, but Hayes at the back of the pack. He gets it at centre half back. He goes to Dylan Scopel, who come out to O'Brien. O'Brien will mark in front of Hiscock. I'll tell you what, that contest there between Hiscock and O'Brien has been so one-sided, it's embarrassing.
So O'Brien now, chip up the wing, finds Wheeler in front of Andronako. Bears still hungry for more goals. You can just sense it.
They do.
They've still got another quarter. They're going to ram this one home, Cole.
Yep.
In really good style.
Really.
Billy Cox now up the wing. So the Lions, can they get a bit of respectability about the scoreline? Up to half forward, cutting across Dogood. He wanted it. He tapped it to Mitch Brett. Really clever to Lloyd. Up the wing, the chip kick had to be good. Oh, well done, Brett Colbert. Made the sharing his, and in the end, though, he just lost it over the line and out of bounds.
The Lions are too concerned about going for the man at the moment. Is that, or is that just my observation?
No, it's been like that all game.
Yeah, it has.
It's been like that all game.
Yep.
I don't know whether they worked out, Michael, whether they thought the Shep were probably a bit susceptible to physical pressure or not. Well, they found out the answer anyway. They're not. Well, Andronako picks it up, Stratton inside Brett. Brett will go to Smith. Smith can take the Bears to 50. He's had his first bounce. Right foot shot on goal is through the middle. 52.5-minute mark, third term. They push out. That should be about 96. Is that 100 exactly?
That's 100. I've got
15, 10, 100 plays 4, 11,
Now,
35.
There's only one other side that I've seen do that bit of play, and it's the opponent they'll play next week in the Kyabram Footy Club. That there, Digger, was outstanding. Slick weaving through, handballs hitting targets. That would have been done on the training track week in, week out, and it's paid dividends on that. And lovely finish, Lukey Smith. He's kicked three.
So Bradrick with 4.
He's up to 33 goals for the year too.
Paddy Brett with 4.
Out of 15 matches, that's not bad.
Brett's got 4 by you, MVD.
4.
Yep, Grenfell out of the middle, smothered on the way through Rokar. Give him a stat with a handball. Back to Do Good. And he's got Joel Brett loping after it. Waits for the bounce. And waits again. Gets a sneaky little kick forward along the wing. Wasn't it sneaky to straighten the handball? And now they've got players on here. Hiscock. Delivers the ball inside 50, looking for Matty Brett. Ball hits the deck, coming through. Well done, Scopel. Hands it off to Meredith. Just arches the back. Delivers the ball up to the middle of the ground, over the back. They've got plenty of numbers, though, have the Shep Bears. And Rokar's one of those after the handball from from Jordan Butts. He gathers it. Chip kick inboard. Looking for and trying to find a teammate there in Wardle. Back to Rokar. Loved his run today. Here's an opportunity. They're out now to Joel Brett. Handball just in front of Lukey Smith. Watch him take O'Keefe on here. Nah, this way, that way. Well done, Matty O'Keefe. Well done, Matty O'Keefe. Got him cold, holding the ball. And I reckon he's hurt Lukey Smith there with that tackle. The ball up to the wing they go. Brett, good position. Billy Cox got a fist on it. Rokar went over the top, looking for and trying to find Brett. Linden was there. Hands it off to Lloyd. Up to half forward. Well done, Scopel in front. No, it wasn't Scopel. He's moved back, Hugh Robinson. Now he finds Dylan Scopel deep in defence.
Last line of defence, all right. He's at the kick-off line. Goes out wide. He finds O'Brien. I'll tell you what, he's been exposed today. High ball for Meredith. He can run onto it at half-back, come back inside to Colbert. They're on defensive side of centre. Sturgis got it off Colbert by hand. Goes to right half-forward. Grenfell worked under the ball far too easily by Mitch Brett. Holland at the back will win it. His hand pass back to Brett was intercepted by Mitch Wade. Wade on the right foot. He goes in looking for Xavier McMahon, but geez, they're disciplined. Dunstan with the spoil. Went to Grenfell. Grenfell can put him back to top of the square. Wardle. What a great mark in the last line of defence. And look at it out here. He'll go out wide to Davies. He's run off Hockley for a change, and he can pick the ball up. Clifton's after him. On the right foot he goes. He puts it forward to Joel Brett. Joel Brett will come out wide to Stretton instead of Wick Redstone side.
Stretton now can take a bounce if he wants one. Elects not to. Delivers the ball to Bradrick. Oh, just spilt it on the way through. Good pressure from Dylan Scopel. Here's AJ McCarthy now. They'll mop up the lines. Deep in their defence, in the teeth of their goal square. Hugh Robinson has it. Delivers it out to Brent Ryan. And there you have it after 25 minutes 44.
Hammer's got something.
With thanks to William Adams. Ag down to you, Hammer, very quickly.
Thank you very much, Digger. Just in the final stages of that quarter, Liam Duguid came off with quadricep troubles. I'll have a chat to him at the three-quarter time huddle, but it should be nothing too serious.
Beautiful, mate. Get across to both huddles. We love your work on the home of country football. It is the Shepparton Bears 15, 10, 100. Well, that's what we think it is anyway. Seymour 4, 11, 35. Sharpie, they only scored the one behind that quarter. You're listening to 98.51 FM and, of course, Seymour FM on 103.9. Crowd in too here at Deakin Reserve.
It's clogged up.
It is a bit...
all you do is put two outriders, mate, and pick up the first two.
Thanks to Pental Factory Sales. Sharpie, let's get into this last quarter.
Actually should have got a free kick out of it. Hockley in the bottom of the pack. Umpire's got to cross his arms and ball it up. Ben Davies is asking the question. How come I didn't get a free kick?
Didn't deserve one.
That's it. That's what probably the umpire said. I think it's umpire Darren Meek, actually, that's got to put the ball back up in the air. He does now. McMahon against Holland. Out the back, Rokar. Gets a hurried right foot kick to right half forward. Ball fisted to the ground. Chance for Joel Brett to run onto it. Went over it. He got it the second time round. Hand pass out to Matt Brett. His right foot kick towards goal is going to go out of bounds on the full by about 20 metres around from the right behind post. So good pressure was coming there from the Seymour defenders. Forced that error, and it hasn't been too many. today for Matt Brett. I think he's got, 4 goals to three-quarter time. Dylan Scopel.
4-1 was it, Michael?
4-1. Thanks, Chase.
Good return. Good return for Matty Brett. Comes to the side.
He's been good, and that's where they've either McCarthy, although he's been there trying to tag Luke Smith, but I mean he's been sort of effective. He's kicked 3 goals, but
chips it up to Huey Robinson in front of the United club rooms where Seymour have been involved in. He delivers into the middle of the ground. Ash Holland had to go back and then tap forward nicely to big boy Johnny Bradrick. Had to take a while to spin around in the old 360. Sturgis was there, was able to gather it and feed out a little handball to Jake O'Brien, who darts this way, that away, concedes some ground to Dylan Scopel, chips it up to the wing, finds a teammate, Rory Scopel, who spins around, delivers the ball to Billy Cox right on the centre wing position.
B, red 39, raffle.
Oh, I did buy some tickets. Just go and check them in a moment. Could have won myself a Weber barbecue, so that'd be handy. Now, delivers the ball inboard to...
Barbecues at your place over the summer?
Yeah, well, I haven't won it yet. McMahon. When Sharpie takes over, I'll check the wallet. But O'Keefe flies high. Oh, big contest, and well done, Big Ash Holland. Had his eyes on it, takes a ripper under real duress from Matty O'Keefe. Fed the handball back now, Linden, to Stretton, to Andronako, or is it Wardle? It's Wardle. Up the half forward. That kick, though, was poor. Out on the full.
Down the full, but it's downfield.
Rory Scopel.
That was really undisciplined play.
That on the way through. I was watching the ball, not the man at the back, so he's copped one for
I don't think
real reason.
There wasn't much in it, but I tell you what, it was still stupid.
I mean, enough to give away a free.
Well, the umpire and Andrew Wright stand at 90 degrees to him, Kyle Power.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't miss too much stuff, Andrew, behind
Bradrick?
the play anyway.
Johnny Bradrick has it now. About 80 from goal. Let's see what he does. Matt Brett's on a lead. Brent Ryan cuts that lead off. So he squares it up to Linden. Poor kick made Linden work for it, who spun around the tackle. Was able to feed it back. Now Lloyd slipped over, paddled it along to his cock. Really close to the boundary lines. Goes over and out. Close to the scoreboard, centre wing. Score check, nothing happening in this last quarter. Been a bit of a lull for 3 minutes. 100 Shepparton, 35 Seymour, 65-point lead.
Again, Sharpie, they score 100 points, the Bears.
That's it.
Yep.
That was always my concern last week for Rochester and again for Seymour today, is that they can kick 100 points, and that's good. Come off the pack to O'Brien, goes forward inside, attacking 50. The free kick is going to go the way of Grenfell there, down in the shadows for hold. So he's going to shoot on goal. Been off target, something chronic today. He can be like that, Braden Grenfell. Some days he kicks them from everywhere, and other days he struggles. He's in the left forward pocket, so being a right footer,
it's in the right spot.
You think the right spot for him. You think you just have to. Well, the breeze. It's interesting ground, this one, where the breeze comes through the gap as the kick goes towards goal, and he's off to the left-hand side. So they go to 4:12:36. Plays 15-10-100. 4.25 minutes gone, final term. They come back out and come out towards Butts. Butts couldn't mark it. Waite was there as well, but Butts kept his feet. Went back, got it. Went down the line to Bradrick. Over the back is Dylan Scopel. Gathers the football. Hand pass off by Brent Ryan. True centre wing. Long hand pass to Xavier McMahon. Oh, they're under some shock and pressure. Going to turn it over. And it's going to be turned over to Harry Boyd. He's going to put the Bears back in. Yep, well done, Brett. Well done, Matt Brett. Dylan Scope will come off second best. Oh, Hugh Robinson. He's done a calf or whatever. Holding his leg, right leg as well. Hope it's not that knee again. Ball goes forward. Smith will win the free kick.
It's either a calf or an Achilles.
Oh, he might have a cramp.
Or cramp.
Feel for him. Looking, Smith has it. We'll watch that with keen eyes now as Hammer's all over it. Smith goes to the forward line. Bradrick, one out, takes a big, strong mark.
I've never seen
I tell you what, the big guys just don't get any smaller, even in the last quarter, Sharpie. And you just got to bomb it up to him.
And not to take away from Bradrick's game, but I tell you what, there's a few defenders for Seymour that need to learn how to be a defender. I tell you what, that was pretty poor, that effort to spoil that football.
Looks like Huey Robinson will be okay.
Yeah, didn't like that. Didn't like that, telling the trainers to P155 off, Sharpie.
Oh, I think he said they're okay, that he's okay.
Oh, he pushed one off.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
As Bradrick goes back and kicks the first goal of the last quarter, 16-10-106. 5 goals for Big Johnny. He's backed it up.
Good
Thanks to
return.
William Adams. Ag down to you, Hammer.
There was nothing, no knees or anything, just a severe calf cramp.
He's coming back off.
Gee, Gee, that'd be an interesting conversation on the bench,
I've
wouldn't it?
never seen that before mid-play when a player drops like that. I was certain it was a
Someone
soft
shot him.
issue, yeah. Anyway,
Just confirming I didn't win the barbecue. For those people tweeting, it's homemade sausages at my place. It's not going to happen.
Ball back in the middle, goes up and comes down. Xavier McMahon goes back to win it. Hiscock tackles him, dispossessing the football. It falls for Harrison Wheeler. Nice bullet-like pass towards Billy Cox. Couldn't handle it. Oh, Mitch Waite's going to win the free kick. High tackle, 45 from home. Oh, no, he's asked to play on now. He did go off the mark. Oh, it's a shocking kick forward. Oh, I tell you what, Butts dropped to centre, but he's good out the back, Dunstan. It'll come back to Butts by hand out of the last line of defence for the Bears. Comes out in front of the Shepparton Bears club rooms to Hiscock. Oh, bowled him completely. Now a chance at the back of the pack for Waite to win it, to go to Meredith. Inside he'll find Harrison Wheeler. Wheeler will put the Lions back inside 50. I'll tell you what, to the top end of the square, but Rokar can win it. O'Brien comes through for Seymour and wins an easy ball and kicks a goal. And they go to 5-12-42 to 16-10, 106 at the 7-minute mark. Final turn, Michael Van Dorsa. When was Seymour's last goal apart from that one?
12-minute mark, second quarter. I got.
12-minute mark.
Yep. Jake Anderson.
With thanks
first.
With thanks to William Adams, Ag down to you, Hammer.
Cheers, Dig. Just an update on that Liam Duguid injury I mentioned at the end of last quarter. He copped a corky to the quad and it's just iced it now, so he'll be resting for next week. But he should be right for next week, according to Bears trainer David Cousins.
Beautiful. Beautiful work. 16-10, 106 the Bears, 5-12-42. So that was O'Brien's second goal. He has 2. Clifton has 2.
Actually, I wonder if they still rub those corkies out on a Thursday night before you play, Kyle Power. I can still remember having that done. If you want to experience pain, that's all about it. Ball back in the middle. Right. This time, actually, the big bloke in there is Lloyd this time. He did well too. Got it to Hiscock. Back to Lloyd by hand. Bit slow. Sturgis tackled him. Ball in dispute. Ryan goes back to Wardle. Wardle will come back inside. Haven't gone too far, but they find Nick Allen. They had Rokar wide. He's disappeared behind the pole now. He can put him forward.
So Allen has it now, back into the square. Delivers a handball to Lloyd through the middle of the ground. Delivers a drop punt up to half forward, looking for Davies, but it was fisted away from him. Joel Brett at ground level. Tries to scoop it up, gathers it now. Handball to Davies, right in front of the grandstand. Little left sort of dinky kick by Stretton was very cute and it worked. To Joel Brett, the handball back to Davies, back to Stretton. So they're racking up some stats. They're making Michael Van Dorsa work for it. Butts was able to handball it, but it went straight to Rory Scopel. And then the kick coming forward, absolutely to no one. The Bears have really just set up magnificently here. With Lloyd takes an easy mark, has a bounce, and then smashes the ball inside the middle of the ground and finds Hiscock. They've got numbers everywhere. They're really labouring, are the Lions. Brett now has it, and you would be, being this far down, you probably wouldn't want to run that hard. Bradrick almost takes a beautiful mark, but it hit the ground, and the Lions are going to release off half-backs. Is Sturgis going to chase it? He certainly is, but he was beaten to it by Rokar.
The numbers
handball to Allen. Handball over the top now. The chip kick coming in, looking for Joel Brett. They're doing it
Seymour
on
football, that's why.
They're witches' hats at the minute. There's no doubt about it. And Joel Brett will line it up. 48 from goal to the Skeen Street end of the ground, out of side. Has Joel Brett kicked one today?
No, one behind.
So this will be his first goal if he does drill it. And what a big margin it's been. Brett now. Distance not a problem. No, it will be. It'll land in the goal square, and Johnny Bradrick, in the end, all alone, takes an uncontested mark in the goal square. Can you believe it?
For 6.
And he will line it up.
That's pathetic.
For half a dozen sausage rolls. Bang! There it goes, straight into Skeen Street. If you're wandering around in your BMX or whatever it is that you got down there, you score yourself a Sharon. As it goes over the top, I can see it right here, right. Can you see that on the road there, Sharpie?
It just missed that. Looked like a BMW that passed and they landed on it.
17-10, 1-1-2 the Bears. Bradford with 6. Yeah, it is. 5-12-42. That makes it 70 points as the Seymour faithful leave the grandstand and start to make their way to their vehicles.
Greg Sharp's not far off either.
Ready to throw his headset down in disgust.
No, I'd never do that. Headsets are valuable. I know what they cost. I wouldn't waste it.
How much do they cost, just for Digger's sake?
A lot. About
from March.
Somewhere between $400 and $1,000, depending on which one you buy. If you buy half a decent one, Adam will tell you. Yeah, there you go.
Not from Aldi's.
Not from Aldi. Ball back in the middle. Well, it hasn't come back to the middle.
Surprise.
I think somebody was listening on their radio or on their phone or whatever because they've knocked it off.
Let's get it
They've gone,
net up there.
let's get the footy and get out of here
Maybe
quick.
that's my fault.
Eh?
Maybe that's my fault. It's still sitting there, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know what's happened, but I tell you what, they haven't got it back. There's a few looking over the fence, ball back in the middle. 11 minutes gone, final term, 70-point margin. And back in the middle, Lloyd does the ruck work, giving Holland a bit of a rest, tries to charge through, ball at the ground level. Nicky Allen got it out the back to Hiscock. He'll go over it was blocked there by Hockley. I reckon he's been Seymour's best because Davies has hardly had an effect on this game. I tell you, it's going to be hard for me to find Cole Power.
Yeah.
Seymour's best 5. I can put Hockley in there.
Yeah.
I think you'll struggle to get 5.
Well, I'll be struggling to get the first 3, I reckon. Fist out of the ball, running back, Wardle running at it, Scopel running at it. No one can win it. Hiscock ran over the top of it. Hockley, bottom of the pack, got it out. Billy Cox can pick it up, centre half forward. O'Brien's waving it like he's trying to hail a taxi cab. You got to want the footy. Stratton's got it. Rokar at half back, steady, go out wide. Matty Ryan can run onto it, or is Lloyd got to get there? No, Ryan will win the race between the pair of the Bears. Goes to half forward in front. Brent Ryan spilled it. Andronako picks it up at right half forward, 50 metres out. Bradrick in the corridor, marks at the top end of the kickoff square. For 7, he's kicking from 10 metres, and the young bloke that got the last footy, if you come back, you'll get the next one. You'll have a pair of them.
And this we'll be running out of Sharon soon.
And this one's only had about 20 kicks on it, so it'll be a goodie.
Keep your eyes on it. Goal to Johnny Bradrick, 7 if you're a Bear supporter, up and about. It takes a bounce and back into the middle of the road again.
New pill.
And Johnny Bradrick's kicked 3 this quarter already. 12 minutes in. After a wonderful final series in 2016, he's done it again already. 7 goals, 18-10.
How simple was that?
118, yeah. No, look, the disposal, you'd love to be a forward at the moment because you've got plenty of space.
Suck them out to the boundary line, then put the ball back into the corridor, make sure we've got someone there. And
in the middle, they go at it. Grenfell just tucked it under the armpit and did it all himself. Sturgis on a long lead, spilt probably what he should have taken. Stratton was there to mop up. He balls over the top to Rokar, delivers by foot, looking for Big Lloyd. It hits the ground, good pressure from the lines there. That's what's been so, missing a lot is the lines pressure. Do good now off half back, looking for and trying to find Bradrick, does the team thing, paddles it on, close to the boundary line. In the end, it rolls over and out.
Makes for an interesting game next week, Kyle. I reckon it'd be. Yes, it's the 2 best sides all year, but it's going to be a real interesting arm wrestle, I would dare say.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see how they're going to have a lot more pressure across half forward. And
for sure, but
they'll have ultimate pressure across there. It'll be interesting to see how they go, but they certainly deserve to be there. Allen that goes to Lloyd. Lloyd down the line. He'll go look like Joel Brett before he crashed to the ground. Mightn't have been Joel Brett, actually. Might have been... I can't actually see the sun's hitting right on that screen. Is it Bradrick? It was actually.
Beautiful day down there.
With thanks to AJ's, Bradrick has had 13 touches, 7 goals straight, and 8 marks inside 50.
Now, I questioned his ability to kick straight, and that's sort of gone out the window with 7 straight snags. Can you believe it? Here's an opportunity now for Joel Brett on the left boot to go inside 50, looking for Bradrick. He looks tired now. Probably get him off. Dylan Scopel. Off the half-back line, finds Sturgis up the wing. Very pensive Jason Welsh down there. Big hello to you and thank you for the pre-game and the half-time. Billy Cox in the middle. Has it now for the Lines.
Actually, nobody's claimed the raffle ticket. Digger, get your tickets off the ground. You might still a winner.
Forward now, a chance for Huey Robinson. If it sits for him, it doesn't. Scopel in there as well. Well done, Shep defenders. Dunstan just plants the boot on it. Gets it up to the half-back line. Joel Brett now, up to half forward, looking for Bradrick. Got it? No. Dropped it on the way through. Good pressure from the Lions defence. Falcone. Beautiful work off half back. Delivers a handball now to McCarthy, and they'll set up with Dylan Scopel. Half back out of side, concedes more ground to Brent Ryan.
Brent Ryan, he'll come across. AJ McCarthy. No, he didn't mark it. Actually, umpire, good call play on. Here's a chance for Smith to get an easy one. Sockers it along the ground. It's going to hit the post. Hit the post.
Kick a drop punt.
I tell you what, they'd kill me if I was a coach. Them doing those along the ground kicks. I tell you what, they're not percentage as far as I'm concerned. Might be old school as Hay comes out the back. 42 plays, 119 the Bears.
You can do that when you're 11 goals up, I guess, Sharp.
Well, you can too, but see, sometimes bad habits do
true.
develop. Hockley, easily, I think, the more I think about it with his work he just did out there wide before, I think easily Seymour's best today. The next 4 will be hard to find. Scopel will go back to Hockley at centre half back. He'll go out wide towards O'Brien. Ryan's there as well. Got a fist to it, but O'Brien should get back in time. Has a bounce, runs along the outer wing of Deakin Reserve. McMahon comes into block. Actually, ball up towards Robinson. Actually, he got Dunstan out of the way. Robinson soccers off the ground. Don't tell me this is going to go the journey at will towards Billy Cox. He's going to miss it. In comes Lloyd. Smothers it. That should have been a goal there, gentlemen. But anyway,
now,
I'll tell you what, well done the Bears.
For the historians, Digger, next week, of course, 2000, the Shep Footy Club had seniors, reserves, thirds. And next week we've got Kyabram, seniors, reserves, thirds.
I'd like to get some results from 17 years ago with what happened. So it was an emphatic win. I can remember Shepparton. Did they beat Shepparton United?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that would have been a massive crowd. Inboard with the kick there for the Lions. Lloyd just tries to break the tackle, was able to fortunately get the handball to Mitchy Brett. Now to Hiscock through the middle. Centre half back. That handball wasn't so good by Hiscock because Wheeler was able to pick it up, wheel around and go up to the forward line. Both Bears player looking at each other. Lyndon was able to get a handball over the top, feed it to a teammate there on half back, and they're almost out. Rokar. Nice little kick to Stretton on half back. Chips it over the top, looking for Andronako on the centre wing position. Handball over the top to Butts. Does it sit for him? It does. He handballs it back over the top to Andronako now, that delivers the ball up to half forward. The pick-up was good by Harry Boyd. Davies, handball back to a teammate then. In fact, I reckon it was Jonty Wardle the whole time, the 18 and the 13. It's free kick to the Bears anyway.
Over the shoulder.
A good 75 around from their goal.
Get Hammer to check
square it up to Stretton.
I reckon Ash Holland's in cotton wool at the moment. He hasn't been on the ground since.
He did say that at three-quarter time that he was going to. Yep.
They're
only going to
find Rokar, who's racking them up. He's got middle of the ground Lloyd. Now you've got Hiscock way out on his own here. He's been waiting for the last 5 minutes. Kick it to me. And just a little bit of junk time here. Kyle Power delivers it up to Butts.
Not bad for his first game for the year.
Not bad. What's his stats, Michael, with AJ's?
He's up to 14 touches.
14, not a bad afternoon's work.
Next week?
Now, not sure. Scopel just gets it. Sorry, it was Jake Anderson. Spirals it into the middle of the ground. Finds Grenfell. Score check 43 Seymour, 119 Shepparton. Doing it easily. Could have been a free. Here's a chance for Jake O'Brien.
No!
You have to handball over
look
the
at
top
Robinson
there.
in the square, I
and
tell you what.
Does a Jason Dunstall dribble to
Can
the
someone
right.
send that into Jason Dunstall, please, on the bounce?
Just got a handball, son.
Please send it through.
44. Calm down.
Hey,
Calm down.
doesn't that, Michael, set up Seymour's day?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Sums it up.
that was pathetic. If you were coaching under 12s and that happened, you'd be saying something. Listen here, young man, next time, have a look around and give it to your mate, the bloke in the best position. Tell you what, that's
The
terrible.
handball over the top, instant goal for Seymour. But anyway, went through and kicked it behind. Cole, handball back to big boy O'Keefe, or McMahon it was actually. Now Wheeler finds Meredith to Rory Scopel. Oh, he's a bit undecided as to what to do. He's going to get caught. He got it back to Meredith. It was a poor handball. Shepparton going to come out here. Joel Brett taps it on. Butts has got to go. He picks it up, gets a boot on it, and I told you they're out here. Harry Boyd, does he handball it? No. Decides to go to Matty Brett, one-on-one. He takes it in front of Scopel. The handball now to Butts. Long ball to the goal square. Davies is under it. Bradrick!
8.
Oh, he's got it again, big JB. Forward pocket. And he will line it up
JB, high
for
five.
8 snags. If you don't mind Johnny Bradrick, just get it anywhere in the vicinity and let his buckets take over.
Have a look at this bloke. What a game he's played today.
Bradrick is now starting to get himself into real 3-vote calculations. 8 in a prelim. They've been dominant, the Bears. Forward pocket, 15 out, bit of an angle, Bradrick. Oh, he's blotted the copybook.
No.
Johnny's really let himself down with the ball drop there. So 7 goals, 1. 18, 12, 120.
We're saying how bad that is. He's missed 1 goal. He's had 8 shots on goal and he's missed 1 of them, and we're saying, come on.
Yeah, Seymour, 5, 14, 44. Haven't kicked a goal. Well, they kicked one in this quarter. But before that, it was a while. So what's that, 76 points? Yeah, it's a fair old whacking.
Jake Anderson by foot. He finds Billy Cox at half-back. This is the difference. Have a look at Boyd's chase. Goes down the line, Cox does to O'Brien, half volley. And Matty Ryan's there, and he wraps it up on centre wing out of side, tucked it up near the boundary line. 120 plays 44 as we go 21 minutes into the final term. Umpire Andrew Wright to put the ball back up in the air, and he'll do that on centre wing. And even looked like Cole that was doing the ruck work for Seymour. You know, Wardle got a fist to it, pushed it out towards the boundary line, but it was O'Brien there. Actually, Meredith marked it, got it to Jason Cole. Left half forward, he'll go to Robinson. Geez, he made him have to work for that one. Wasn't the best pass. Robinson now steadies towards Grenfell. Grenfell will protect it in the air and mark it finally. And he'll shoot on goal. Over the top, hand pass, Scopel, goal. And that's Rory Scopel. So Seymour get their 6 goals, 6-14-50, plays 18-12, 120.
And that way, Brandon Grenfell had about 15 centimetres on Mitch Brett. So a mismatch there, Kyle.
Yeah, it certainly was. It's been no contest, really, has it, all day?
From pretty much halfway through the first quarter. At 20 points at quarter time, half time it was 37, 3/4 time it was 65, and now it's 70. So yeah, it's been a long time since Seymour were actually in this ball game. Back in the middle we go. McMahon got the tap down. Wheeler was able to get a handball, fed it back to Jason Cole. Big long ball going inside 50. Linden, one out there with Robinson, did well to get a foot on it. And then Stretton, very crafty handball back to Dunstan. Delivers the ball up to half-back, but cutting across, taking a nice one was O'Brien. He delivers it inside 50 to, I think, Mitchell Waite. Yep. 55
slow going Meredith too. Too slow.
And then a chip to Rory Scopel, and he'll just go bang, one step, and straight through the middle for another one to the Lions. And basically zero reaction as he slots Seymour's 7. 7-14-56. Scopel now has 2. To Shepparton, 18-12, 120. As we basically just wait for the siren to blow.
Yeah, we do. And look,
and call an end to this one.
Hopefully no injuries happen to the Bears players. You want to sort of... It's a tough period of the game, Greg Sharp, when the game's all over and you're a week away from a grand final. You've probably got 3 or 4 minutes to go. You don't want to do a major injury.
No. How many can you take off and put on the bench?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's it. You still got to attack the football like you normally would. That's how you play the game. Hockley in the middle can get it out easily. Seymour's best, I think. Sturgis go to Cole, picks it up on his bootlaces, steadies, hand pass over the top. Sturgis again. Rokar's after him, and he chased him. And that's the difference between chasing and running. Rokar was off after him like he meant business. Hiscock off half-back, out wide, and hit up a good target there in Boyd. Actually, Lloyd, sorry, not Boyd. He'll one's 14, the other's 44. He goes straight down the line. Braderick, that's how you spoil a ball, Matty O'Keefe. Put it back 25 metres into to their advantage. Cole, Stratnell intercepted it on the defensive side of centre. Mitch Brett goes out the back, butts Rokar. He can go to centre half forward. Wardle can catch it and go. Hand pass will go over the top. Not a good one. Oh, geez, they mucked that one up that time there. It was Boyd, went over the top. The problem with Boyd is he's probably a bit tired. Out wide, O'Brien still trying to do the fancy stuff, gets it around, and he finds Mitch Wade at left half back for the Lions.
So Wade has it for Seymour. They trail.
Sturgis,
yeah,
he's coming off
by 64.
Well, he's only got to stand on.
We'll get the great man Jason Wells. The great man Jason Wells to deliver his post-game thoughts as well in a moment. As we wait for the siren, Davies this way, that away. Handball over the top to Stretton. So they're racking up the stats now. Then to Butts, back to Davies again, ricochet. Ball out in front of the scoreboard here. The Lions have it. No, they don't. Free kick's been paid. It'll go to Shepparton's Mitch Brett. Just waiting for the Sharon to pop back to Mitchy
Brett. The one
Brett.
I was talking about before. I agree. That should be a free kick regardless.
And no one on the mark. So they are all at sea, the Lions. Handball over the top to Allen. Allen now has plenty of time to just size it up and say, Jordan Butts, I'll kick it to you.
He's had 11
and a handball to Joel Brett. They're doing it on the bit here. Nicky Rokar takes it, approaches inside 50, goes bang and has no trouble kicking a point.
First undisciplined bit of play then. Lukey Smith should have got the hand pass then. They did a Seymour.
18,
had a shot for goal.
18-13, 121. to Seymour, 7-14-56. And Jason Welsh will also be helping out. He's going to be everywhere, hammering, helping. I was going to say hammering. Helping with hammer, maybe, with some post-match stuff.
Nope.
No, not happening. He's giving me the shake of the head. Not going to happen. Billy Cox now half-back in front of the Shep United club rooms. Great weather, great crowd. It's been a pretty good game, but it's been all one-way traffic. Flies high. Takes a nice one in front of the faithful. In front of the grandstand.
And that's 50, sure.
No, it's not 50.
No,
he went through the mark.
Hockley
Davies ran across
he was
there.
chasing Davies. He knocked
All right.
there. Calm down, Sergeant. Just calm down. Joel Brett now will be 52 out from goal. Don't worry, I know how it feels to be called Sergeant, Michael. It's all.
Do you?
I do. All last week I got buried. Joel Brett, 55 out. Does he slot this one, Hollywood?
Yep.
He does.
Nah, no.
I caught you on the hop there.
He caught me on the hop.
Brett now. Oh, it's a nice looking kick, but it's just going to fade to the left-hand side.
We shoot with the distance.
18-14, 1-2-2 to Seymour, 7-14-56 with thanks to AJ's, Michael. Sorry.
Yeah, Shepparton are in front in this quarter by 1 point. So 3-4-21 to 3-3-21 to 3-4-22 this quarter.
The call didn't come on Colbert, didn't it? He wanted him to win the quarter.
Smacked in the gob.
So Rokar, how many stats for Nicky Rokar, please?
He's got 10 this quarter with this one
10.
coming up. He's going to be 32 for the game.
That's a solid game of footy. He's a minimum 30 possession player pretty much week to week.
With 1 goal, 1 as well.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, full-time siren here. Thanks to Pental Factory Sales, of course, massive last quarter sponsors of 1FM. We thank their valued sponsorship all through the year. Now, Nicky Rokar to put the ultimate icing on the cake. No, he's not. He's going to go bang with a drop punt, but it's not going to be a goal. It's going to be a minor. And that will wrap things up here. 18-15, 123 Shepparton defeating Seymour 7-14-56. We're going to go to a break, and on the other side we've got plenty of time to wrap things up here. You're listening to the home of country football, 1FM, and of course Seymour FM on 103.9. We'll be back right after this.